Coverage of tonight's race presented by the Asphalt Racing Network in partnership with Decals, Paint, and Photoshop for all of your iRacing paint needs. That is your one-stop shop. And, of course, last but not least, Young Hitter Collectibles for all of your new and old die-cast needs. Be sure to check us out on Whatnot. We are live here, ladies and gentlemen, for the last race of the season. We are here at Talladega in the next gen cars for the American Stock Car Racing League at Talladega. 2.6 miles here tonight to officially solidify a season one winner. Of course, pit road speed will be deemed at 55 miles per hour. Pretty hot on the track right now. I would say it's egregiously hot on the track right now. 86 in the air, 136 degrees Fahrenheit on the track. This is literally going to be a tire burner here tonight. Of course, unlimited sets of tires, one fast repair, 3 green-white checkers with a 50% fuel limit, so about 15 laps for a run. And of course, everybody, as always, in the booth for another week here, the last week of Season 1 for the Asphalt Racing Network. My name is Tyler Jones, and we have somebody, if you guys are familiar with, in the ASCRL community, that would be Dalton Gibson. I'm sorry, Gregson. Oh, I'm going to screw this up all night.
Well, hey, I'm happy to be here and excited to see the end of this thing. I'm a big fan of the league, big fan of the guys on track. I'd love to see my boy in the 21 car bring it home tonight.
You and a lot of other people probably are praying for a 21 win of Holloway. We're going to have to see how that's going to go. He's got some pretty strong competition this season. I feel like it's only going to get stronger. Tonight, of course, Josh Ball, Dalton Gibson, Pickle Simmer, Holloway, all fighting for that championship spot. It's going to be a tough one, of course. Not going to be the easiest road to glory tonight. I mean, it has taken 15 races, countless amounts of wrecks, very high-fueled, dramatic finishes with one long road and a very long journey all the way here to Talladega. It all comes down to this tonight. Of course, 4 drivers enter with a mathematical shot at becoming the inaugural American Stock Car Racing League Season 1 champion. Just 22 points separate the championship leader from 4th place. And with 59 points available, nobody is out of the fight tonight. There's one race, one champion, one chance to make history. Looking at our championship 4 drivers, as of now, Daniel Holloway in the lead on points with 3 wins at 30-47. Pickle Simmer sitting in second, 9 points behind at 30-38. Dalton Gibson in third at 30-37, 10 points behind the leader. And then, of course, Josh Ball in fourth at 30-25. 22 points behind your leader coming into this race here tonight. Now, looking at Daniel Holloway, he is on track right now, getting his qualifying times done. He has had the simplest path to a championship race, I would say, this entire season. Of course, if Holloway wins, nobody can catch him. It's been that way almost all season, and maybe we'll see that continue here tonight. Of course, his next easiest path to win a race tonight, if things go all wrong for these 4 drivers. He would have to finish within the top 5, stay within 9 points of Picklesimmer, stay 10 within of Gibson, and 22 within of Josh Ball. Of course, his bottom line, he can simply, he really just simply needs to avoid disaster tonight. We've seen him catch a lot of that here in this postseason, and hopefully tonight is not going to be one of those nights.
Yeah, he's got a lot of fans, and I think he's going to be able to get it done. I mean, how many times have we been to Talladega this season?
Multiple, every other week. So, at least 8 weeks out of the season. So, and I mean, if I'm not mistaken, this was his choice. It was his choice of track, as he was the champ for the team. So, or no, I'm sorry, I think it was his choice of car. It was team's choice of track. So, I mean, it's in a wheelhouse. They all feel obviously that they're going to be comfortable enough to do something here tonight, and maybe we'll actually see a Holloway dominant run. I mean, it'll kind of really round up the year for him after kind of struggling when the playoffs have started, leading him to where he is now. I mean, of course, we are just a few minutes away from seeing, as we still have a few cars that haven't went out to qualify. Now, our second playoff driver here of the night, Dylan Picklesimmer, in that 88 car, he's 9 behind. Of course, the simplest path for him to win tonight is a finish of 10 positions ahead of Holloway. Now, that is literally going to take probably everything in his power to make that happen, and preying on the downfall of Holloway. Of course, examples, if Dylan's first, Holloway in 11th, even if Dylan's in 3rd and Holloway finishes in 13th, or Dylan's in 8th and Holloway finishes in 18th, he has it solidified for him here tonight. Of course, his alternative path to a win, he would have to win stage 1, giving him that plus 10. Then he would also have to finish near Holloway. Now, the stage would alone almost erase his entire deficit, but he'll still have a lot that he'll need to kind of play in to the factor here tonight. Of course, his bottom line would be to beat Holloway by roughly 10 points here tonight.
And I don't think that's too far outside the realm of possibility. Watching Picklesheimer drive, he'll put that car where he needs it to be to get in a position, that's for sure.
Then, of course, as always, having to look at our third driver, it's going to be Dalton Gibson. The simplest path, finishing 11 positions ahead of Holloway. Of course, if he finishes first, he needs to finish in first. He needs to finish in 12th. If Dalton finishes in 4th, Holloway needs to be in 15th, and then 8th to 19th. Of course, that alternative path as well. If he wins stage 1, he could lead a lap, get a clean race bonus, and have that opportunity to really give himself a season 1 win. Those bonuses can eliminate most of the deficit for the checkered flag, but he'll still have to run a pretty clean and dominant race here tonight. Of course, Gibson's bottom line would be beating Holloway by roughly about 11 points. Now, our last driver of the night as well, Josh Ball. He's 22 points behind. The easiest road to the gold for him tonight would be finishing 23 points ahead of Holloway. Either Holloway would have to finish in 24th or 25th if Josh can get a first or second place position. Of course, that's essentially impossible without help here tonight. No Presto Racing would really have to be working together to make it all work in their favor today. Now, of course, as well, the most realistic path for Ball tonight would be him winning a race, the stage, leading laps, leading the most laps, and also having a clean race. But I mean, at the same time, if Holloway wrecks or finishes outside of the top 20, I'm sorry, no, that is while Holloway wrecks or finishes outside of the top 20, it would literally be a perfect night. that Josh Ball would have to have, and it could be worth nearly 59 points. Of course, he needs both performance and help here on the track tonight.
Talk about having the deck stacked against you, but everybody loves an underdog story, and it's NASCAR. Anything can happen. We're at Talladega for the 8th time this season, so
Now, of course, before we get to going, we are going to play our national anthem here for our season.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now, drivers have their engines fired. We are just a few laps away from the last official start of the season. In your first place spot here tonight is going to be Josh Ball with Christian Rhodes. Second, row 2 is going to be Chase Greer and Alan Hess. Row 3, Zach Stevens and Matthew Wilson. In row 4 tonight, Stephen Alessi and Russ Hancock. Row 5, Tyler Hurt and Daniel Half, rounding out your top 10. Row 6 is going to be Daniel Holloway and Trevor Yates. Row 7, Corey Rainey and Ethan Horst. Row 8, Todd Poston and Eric Rodeman. Row 9 is going to go to Kevin Leash and Joshua Riddle. Row 10, Dylan Picklesimmer and Dwayne Corbett. Just outside of your top 20 is going to be Matt Banky and Adam Kilday in row 11. Row 12, Vicente Guerrero and Dalton Gibson. Row 13 in the back of the pack is going to be Len McNeese to start out your 25 car field here today. This is the most nerve-wracking point for these drivers here, tugging on their belts, trying to get those tires warmed up at a very hot track here today. Let's see if the weather's went down at all any. If our overlay wants to work, as the pace car is going to be off this time by 134 degrees. It has not went down at all. Green flag for the drivers out now. Last restart of the season.
front. Oh, we've got trouble.
Oh!
Caution's already out.
Well, hell's bells for the last time here for the season. Feel like that was a good way to bring it in, as we were going to play it for all of lap 1, but the 32 had some different plans. Daniel Half involved in that one in the front of the pack there early on for the caution. First caution out before we can even drop the tower on lap 1. We're going to go ahead and go back to the replay here. See exactly what happened with this 32. Kind of got him squirrely. Ooh, wrong place at the wrong time. 343 of Hancock got contact as the 32 went low. Also connected with the 71 of Trevor Yates to the rear, which spun him out, sending him downfield. Pickle Simmer just avoiding the caution on the apron. Playoff driver almost had a fast repair used early tonight.
Like you said, man, anything can happen, and it didn't even let us get one lap in before we're under caution.
I mean, you've got to expect that at a track like Daytona and Talladega. I mean, of course, these boys have a lot of practice here at the super speedways, but still, when it comes down to it, you know there's a lot on the line. You still want the last win of the season. If you're the playoff driver, you want the playoff win. You want the championship gold. So, of course, we're going to be seeing some of these problems happen here tonight. Thankfully, right now, hopefully we'll get some of the jitters out, and this caution should maybe clean up for the rest of the night. I mean, it's still early to tell. Maybe we're going to see a few drivers go in for pits for gas, and you are going to see that now. Josh Ball leading them in pit road.
To refresh trading paints at the moment.
Of course. Thank you, Corey. I don't even have to look at chat. I don't have to look at chat. I don't have to look at messages. Thank you, Corey. So you're going to watch these cars go back to their primaries. And when I mean primaries, I mean their primer paints. And then some of these cars are going to update for their actual paint schemes. And we're going to go check the 4 of Rainey, because we already know he's going to tell me if that's his car or not. His taking the longest, which means it's the most spec mapped. So we're about to see Chrome. And there it is, Chrome. Called it. Yep, that is him. Irish Spring number 4. 4-leaf clover on the front for good luck tonight. I feel like all these drivers need a 4-leaf clover with them tonight, because it is going to be a hell of a race.
Tell you what, we've got some good-looking cars out on the track.
Every week. Never fails to amaze me how much time these guys put into making paint schemes or getting paint schemes made, just the effort. Always a colorful field, always a different paint scheme almost every week. Some you'll see twice. I feel like some of these guys have like some bad juju on paint schemes, and they only run them once.
And then, of course, you have staples like the Hershey Kiss 21 car. Seems like it doesn't get changed around a whole lot.
No, it really doesn't. And, you know, that's also another thing that makes the 21 stand out so much on track. You see that red and gray paint scheme, notably from, you know, Kevin Harvick on track. And you see it here on a weekly basis, and it always catches your eye, no matter if it's in front or not. I mean, of course, Candy Shack always running some really good paints. You see the 8 running the Rhesus. Dalton always in a payday car. or some type of food car. I don't think this week is a food car. I might be wrong, but you know, there's always a Hershey Kisses car on field, no matter if you want it to be or not.
Dalton
Of course,
Gibson's got him a nice Woods Viking car tonight.
of course, something we don't see often here. We're going to have the 1 and the 0-1 start side by side for this restart. Christian Rhodes, technically your leader at the time of the caution. Matthew Wilson in second place. They will be row 1 for this restart. Greer in third with Stevens at fourth. Tyler Hurt in fifth. Rodman sitting in sixth. Now, of course, pace, truck lights are off. Now, you said 17's running that Wood Vikings barbershop. I believe he's actually had our races in that barbershop too, so. Fans all over the world. Going to be green back this time on the control car on the high side. It's going to be the number 1 of Christian Rhodes. Green flag officially back out now. The first time today after that first caution.
Let's see if they'll take it a little easier and try not to go 3 wide right out the gate.
I don't think we're going to see that happen because we're already kind of seeing it a little bit in the back. They went back 2x2 there for a minute, but they were roughly 3 wide. They're about 3 wide at Gibson right now.
Out front, behind.
Cam. Who were you about to point out there?
I was about to point out Picklesheimer jumping up, abandoning the bottom line. Oh, we've got contact and still no caution. We're going to let him go.
14. No Presta Racing's very own Vicente Guerrero involved in that. Dwayne Corbett stopped and locked up on the track. Meatball flag out now. I forgot to turn our action alerts on. That's why we haven't seen nothing. Not a good situation for the 11 early on. Meatball is going to cause him to have to use that fast repair this time, and that's going to take away a fast repair for the later stages of a race. You're going to want that for the better half of the 50, not the early half of the 50, which is going to be unfortunate. We're going to see if we can back this up a little bit more to the actual initial contact. So we can see there the 14 running that middle line. Corbett not too far behind. Guerrero gets into the 8 after getting hit by the 3, put up in the wall. Corbett took a right front rear hit to that wall just before the start and finish line. Blew the fender off. You can see it flailing in the wind there. That is going to cause him with a most likely broken toe link, axle problems, and then, of course, fender problems, which is going to affect the straightaway speeds here. So he is definitely going to have to use that fast repair if he's going to want to keep in contention here on a draft track.
You know, you hate to see something like that happen so early in the race.
I mean, it definitely hurts your chances for a possible win. Thankfully, it's not a playoff driver that's already meeting the fate this early. It would really kind of be a kill to your season. I mean, still not a good look right now. No Presta Racing with Guerrero and Corbett both involved in that wreck there. That's going to kill a little bit of momentum for that team. We know that team normally likes to work together pretty hard when it comes down to the end of a race, so that might also alter their chances of having a full team draft pack at the end to push Ball to a victory. Of course, pit cycle's going this time. A lot of drivers in pit. You can see it on the tower. A few drivers stayed out. It's going to be Gibson, Leash, Banky, Riddle, and Rainey, who have all pitted at lap 2 to 3. Leash has not went into pits at all, so he's on an older gas strategy than the rest of those drivers. Probably not a wise move, because he is going to run out of fuel and most likely will have to go down for a solo pit, which can really screw his night up. Of course, Gibson, your control car under caution this time. Single file exiting pits will be to choose cone, this time by the line. Like I said, Leash will be in second. Banky in third place right now for this caution. Joshua Riddle in fourth. Corey Rainey, the number 4, up in the top 5 right now. Gibson, the highest driver out of the final 4 currently in his position. Of course, tracking our top 4 drivers. No, it says top 5, but we are down to the final 4. Gibson in P1, Ball in 18th place, Holloway in 11th, Picklesimmer in 20th. Everything is already going in the right direction for Gibson early on here.
When we go green, we'll see what he can make happen with it. Of course, it's harder. When you're out front, you've got the clean air, but the way these guys drive, it's only a matter of time before someone gets a big run on you.
Now, of course, you know we have 4 tiers to this championship. We call it the championship ladder. Right now, the 21 of Holloway can control their destiny. What we're calling Tier 1, which is practically him winning and immediately being a champion. Of course, Tier 2, things that need to go right. Dalton Gibson needs a stage win or a finish 11 spots ahead of Holloway. Right now, they're not separated by much, but there's still some room between them. Of course, Picklesimmer as well in that Tier 2, where he would need a stage win or a 10 different place position finish over Holloway. He's in 24th right now. Of course, Tier 3 will be Josh Ball, who's in 17th. He's going to need multiple things to go right. Strong finish, bonus points, and Holloway struggles here tonight. Of course, for Holloway, his goal tonight is to not wreck. Picklesimmer's goal is to beat Holloway by 10. Gibson is to beat him by 11. And then, of course, Ball is win and hope. I mean, it's the simplest, most accurate championship scenario heading into our Talladega finale right now. Of course, 17, Gibson on the low side, control car for this restart. Pace truck off this time for the second restart of the night. Or excuse me, the third restart of the night. Gibson on about halfway through the box. Green flag back out now. Top 6 kind of breaking away from the pack. just a little bit on that restart. Good timing. Of course, it's not going to last long. This is a super speedway after all. Gibson really taking charge in that low line early on. They have more cars in the top line right now. They just got to hold their lines comfortably. We're seeing a lot of wiggling. 5 off, 35 of Benke off track right now.
Corey Rainey up, losing positions.
Rainey now going to be down into 13th, high and dry on the outside by himself. Not a good restart for the 4 as you would have imagined.
Starting to get a little single file up front. Maybe they can make something happen with it, create some space.
Now, that's kind of a lot of what we see here. These guys will fight to the death. Does not matter how many laps there are left. We will see these 2x2 runs for a predominant amount of the race. And then, we, of course, we'll see the single file runs as well. Right now, looking like we're forming a long 2x2 track. Rainey trying to go to the outside and the back to start a third line. And now we have Christian Rhodes taking over the lead on the top side over Holloway, who is up there in second place, just about a position behind his teammate. You're going to have to wonder if he's going to dive down low here and take that low line, or is he going to try to block Christian Rhodes out? There's your answer.
Tell you what, that high side is chugging. If they can get some cars in there and stay in line, they'll be able to get past and clear at least 3 or 4 cars.
You're kind of seeing them do it right now. Top 3 go from that top side down low. That's going to cycle the 77 up to the leader of the high side. He's kind of weary on where he wants to go right now. That's going to cause a little bit of a checkup. They're going to be clean and green right now, but that just added a little bit more space on that bottom side, which is going to let that top side prevail.
Oh, and we've got a car turned into the inside wall hard.
That was the 77 of Kevin Leash. No meatball flag, surprisingly. Do not understand. There it is. I was about to say, do not understand that, because that was one hell of a hit. We're going to go back and show that real quick while these drivers are still under green. Hell of a hit the 77 of Leash has just taken. Getting it back to pit road on the apron. We are going to remain green. Back to the lead here. They are fighting like hell, trying to get that middle line running. Guys trying to run top side as well. It is really all over the place right now.
Yeah, they're looking for any inch they can get on this track. 3 wide, almost 4 wide in places.
I mean, this is something we've seen from these drivers multiple times this season. They never fail to give you guys a good show at home. And they always do. Rain or shine outside, we are here putting in some work on the track. Right now, Gibson has fallen a pretty long way down the list. He's currently sitting in 12th. Holloway's in the lead. You got Picklesimmer up in 4th.
Help's coming for him too. Watch him, he's climbing. He'll be there before, and there it is.
Now Josh Ball, the one that really needs everything to go his way, as Leash just gets to pits now. He's sitting back there, that neon green 33. He's sitting back in 20th right now. Not where he needs to be. Yes, it might be smart to avoid the wreck, stay in the back.
Oh, and there's the big one. There's the big one right at the start-finish line.
A lot of drivers involved in that. They are still wrecking on the infield.
Holloway clear, Picklesheimer clear.
As we were speaking of wrecks, the 33 of Josh Ball with a smart move staying in the rear there. Seems to be Kilday, Yates, Hancock, Horst, and Wilson that have all wrecked that time. Wreck starting in the front of Russ Hancock there. Looks like it started just around the 4 of Corey Rainey. '85 just came a little bit too high there. Made some contact backwards on the track, watching drivers go, and there's your initial start of your caution. Rainey being involved in that one just a little bit. Of course, 97 of Tyler Hurt involved. I do believe to some extent, nothing crazy. '85 Adam Kilday being the one that got spun around. Trevor Yates.
Matt Wilson collected in that one. Stephen Alessi collected in it.
I feel like Horst got a pretty bad shot too. Made contact with the 8 as well and spun him around. He was able to save it. Matt Wilson getting the most damage out of all of it. Pinballed off Alessi. Sent right into the infield. Hard hit with the right front of that next-gen car. We know these next-gen cars, super delicate. They take even a small hit, and it's a end of race for you. So a lot of drivers having to most likely repair damage here with a fast repair. Some drivers already in pits for about a minute. Corey Rainey was in pits for 1:04. He probably got most, or if not all, of his damage off without a fast repair. Yates still in pits at 1:10 and counting. Kilday in pits for 1:15 and counting. And Guerrero in pits now for about 1:20. Now this is going to get interesting as Josh Ball is going to be in the lead. Christian Rhodes in second. Picklesimmer in third. Holloway down in fifth. Tyler Hurt in fourth. Gibson is back in ninth now. He's moved up a few positions, but still not what he needs with that 21 sitting in front of him.
All four playoff drivers in the top 10 right now.
I mean, it is looking good for about 3 out of 4 of them. Gibson's going to have to make some good moves up here and unfortunately pray for the downfall of his own driver, being the 21 of Holloway.
You got to wonder, as this race goes on, how much helper is he going to be willing to give him, knowing that he's got to beat him out for the championship.
Well, I mean, we've already seen the 21 and the 17 already fight there on that restart. Holloway normally goes in front of a teammate and will pull them up or push them or whatever it needs to be. You saw him choose a different line. He stayed in his own area, made his own progressions, and left Gibson back there to fend for his own. So, of course, now seeing that early on, we already know what's going to happen at the end of the race if they are close. There is not going to be any help from the 21 to the 17 or vice versa. So it's going to be a hard-fought battle all the way to the end for Candy Shack.
Tell you what, I'm really enjoying watching the 88 of Picklesheimer. It's he's super aggressive, but he's just making it shake, making it stick every time, and it's paying off for him.
And it's kind of how he's been all year. He has been a threat on and off the track. You know, with a fast car, he's just found a lot of bad situations that kind of really attracted to him like a magnet, which has forced him to really have some unfortunate finishes, but still able to point his way to a Final Four run. Green flag out now. Ball in the lead currently for No Presta, and Picklesimmer now currently sitting in second place. We already got the 21 and the one of Christian Rhodes side by side there. Picklesimmer with
Josh Ball on the apron, slowing down quite a bit there.
I'm wondering
losing
if that's
a ton of
gas
spots.
strategy. It is going to be a gas strategy. Ball has not pitted since lap 7. He's on about a quarter of a tank, while the rest of these guys, teammate of Picklesimmer, is barely a quarter from used. So that's really going to play in here now. Is at lap 19.
We're 4 wide behind first and second place here, as the 35 of Matt Banky's fallen back just a little bit.
Holloway pulls out of the 4 wide, but they're still 3 wide in front of him.
Starting to see him go single file through about 8th or 9th place, maybe even a little further back than that. Everybody kind of trying to settle into a groove and hang on to any track position they can get.
And this is where that single file run is really going to start to come into play. It's also going to add a lot of opportunities for these drivers to save fuel. Next gen cars are really good in the corners, especially when it comes down to fuel. Sitting in draft, the farther back you are, of course, the better it will be.
And Christian Rhodes, Matt Banky, both involved in that one.
That is not a good sight there. One of the 77 made contact. Banky has a meatball flag now out officially. I'm sorry, not the 77. 77 is in pits. I think he's already retired from the race. Yes, 77 Kevin Leash is out. There was that contact there that started it all. Made contact at the wrong time.
It looks like he came down just into the 9 car just a bit, and on his path to correction, he got hooked. Or hooked himself, I should say.
Wrong place at the wrong time. I wouldn't say bad move. Looks like the 35 of Banky probably got a little bit too tight on that bumper, which broke the 1 loose. The 11 able to get around it. Of course, Hancock involved in the wreck as well, as he was right there. Nose first to the 35 of Banky. Christian Rhodes also being affected by that as well. Spinning out and then making extra contact with Hancock. Not good, not good, not good. 4 cautions already. It's about 5 laps per caution. Of course, the progress bar will tell you a different story. It was our second to longest green flag run so far since we've got underway here for the last race of the season, and you got to wonder how much more is going to come before it gets cleaner.
At least Josh Ball is able to find his way down pit road, get some gas in his car.
Oh, critical. One in the 77 got in, I believe, the first wreck of the night. Started off with the 32 and kind of just went downhill. A lot of damage. Direct wall contact to the 77 on the right front tire. On the kind of solidified his night, unfortunately, out. And then literally a caution not too long after that as well. Got at least another 3 cars involved, and there's most likely at least 6 drivers that have contemplated taking a fast repair now and not saving it for the greater stages of the race. But hey, look, if you have a minute worth of damage, it's Talladega. It's going to be a long pace track. Go do your actual damage, your optional, save your fast repair for the end of the race, because you never know when you're going to need it. Of course, we will be at Choose Cone this time by 32 of Daniel Half in the lead after being involved in that first caution. Holloway still up in the top 5 in second right now. Gibson all the way in 6th place. Picklesimmer down in 14th. Josh Ball sitting right behind in 15th.
And that's how fast things can get shaken up at a super speedway.
It's every week, you know, you don't really know what to expect walking into a super speedway. Of course, the guys that have the speed and the racecraft kind of always expect to win. But at the same point in time, you just don't know what's going to happen on the tracks during green flag laps before you can get to that white flag lap. So, you know, it's kind of hard to have to call early on, you know, how many cautions we'll see, how bad the wrecks will be, or even who will be in it at the end of a race. But I mean, 4 cautions right now, like I said, about 5 laps a caution would be the average. Tower tells a different story. They've been pretty close, consistently back to back to back. Now, really, the biggest question is, can we get a good green flag run that's actually going to take some pit strategy before we get to that first stage break at lap 50?
I'd love to see it. I would love nothing more than to watch these cars run around at full speed as opposed to 70 miles an hour.
Would make for a little bit better racing. Now, looking once again, final 4 coming into this race. Holloway was in the lead with 3 wins. Picklesimmer 9 points behind in second. Gibson 10 points behind in third. And of course, Josh Ball 22 points behind with 3 wins on the season. Green flag now coming back out here.
Seeing a little bit of love to that low side now. The inside line has a little bit of a run. If they could get one more car in there, they might be able to.
And notably, all wrecks so far tonight have been coming from a middle run. So you got to wonder at this point in time if they're just going to be a little bit more cautious and run that low side line You don't want to be in the middle. I mean, it'll get you a good position, but if there's not a gap, it's going to take forever for you to get to that lead. So you've got to wonder, are we going to see a lot of guys trying to take this single file run for a pretty good advantage, or are we going to keep seeing these double files, which now notably have caused a few wrecks?
I'll tell you who's not just going to sit around and wait for it to develop, and that's going to be the 88 of Picklesheimer. I've seen him. He's making moves anywhere he can get it in there. I'd like to predict that they'll be paying off for him here soon. He'll be back out front.
Picklesheimer in 13th right now, sitting not too far behind Josh Ball, who is now pulling off the track onto the apron. He's not back up on yet. Now is, but he's going to be out of draft help, so that's really going to hurt him there. Dalton Gibson sitting in second place now with Hurt in first, so pretty good run for Gibson. He's trying to hold on to his top 2, top 5 spot, as Holloway is now down to 10th.
I can tell you, watching from this far off, it's almost hard to tell him between him from the car directly behind him. I believe that's the 31 of Todd Poston. They've both got matching Hershey's Kisses schemes on tonight. I wonder if they coordinated it.
It's getting tough up here between the 47 and the 40. Stevens and Greer. They're fighting pretty hard for that spot right now. You got the 8 of Alessi not too far behind. 88 of Picklesheimer trying to make a run in the middle line. Not much help. Now they're trying to develop a third line, and this is normally where we see the problems start to occur.
Hurt's going to move up. And just like that, Picklesheimer's back out front.
Not for long. Top line marching on strong. 17 of Gibson's going to get the lead back over the 88. Teammates actually linked up right now. That is a shocker. But I also think Holloway knows Gibson needs a lot more just to be able to take this win away. Holloway is about the easiest one to walk himself to a championship trophy at the end of tonight. Of course, Gibson needs to finish 11 points ahead. Or, of course, have that clean race bonus with a stage 1 win and lead a lap. I've seen him lead the lap. Does he have the clean race bonus at this point in time is going to be your biggest question. And on top of it as well, what is still in store for these drivers for the rest of this race? We're only 28 laps in, just over the halfway mark, so we're about 70 laps left now to go before we can even see who's going to be remaining on the field here tonight. Single file line going pretty good here on the bottom now. Drivers not able to hold their lines on the top side. It's really starting to show because Picklesheimer fell all the way down to 13th place.
Picklesheimer is just begging anyone to come with him on the high side. Getting any side draft he can get. Praying for cars to come up and join his line on the top.
I mean, he's going to need it. He still needs to finish 10 positions ahead of Holloway or win stage 1 and finish near Holloway. I mean, the stage win will erase that entire 9-point differential. But of course, he still has to beat Holloway by roughly 10 points.
And we've got us positions 1 through 5 single file, and then they're stacked up 3 wide behind them.
That's normally where it starts to get hairy. Do we see a clean 3 wide run here for maybe the rest of stage 1? Do we see another caution? Do we see a playoff driver get taken out? There are still way too many questions to have to ask.
Dalton Gibson comfortable leading this thing, going around. His teammates pushing him. If they can keep it clean behind him, I gotta imagine he's willing to ride the stage out like this.
Now it will help. It will help Gibson prevail, but not by much, because he's only going to gain 1 point. Like I said, Gibson practically having to prey on the downfall of his own driver for the entirety of the night. Not a situation you want to be in, especially when you are the team owner, but you know, it is an unfortunate situation.
Hey, what I'd like to see, me personally, I'm rooting for Holloway to win. I'd love to see him come away with a championship tonight and then climb in one of my cars on Thursday and get me a win at Daytona as a team owner.
Now, if everything goes to plan, I mean, he could have the win here tonight. He just needs to pass the start and finish line and check the flag in the air in the first position.
He's certainly got the easiest path laid out for him.
I mean, after the season we've seen from him, it was a path well deserved.
Yeah, I was really excited to pick him up for my team over in the other league. Matt Banky looks like into the wall. A couple of cars down on the apron trying to avoid it. And there's the caution.
Banky seems to be having network issues because his car is not even on the field.
Was that Matt Banky, or was I mistaken? No, that was Matt Banky.
No, that was the 35 of Matt Banky.
It looks like he hit the wall and lagged out.
I don't even have a camera view for him.
Yeah, I can't get one on him either. Reckon the Lord called him home. It was he hit the wall just a little too hard. It's time to go meet Jesus.
Time to pack her on up for the day. Now, of course, with that damage, Banky has a meatball flag and most likely already using a fast repair. Is going to be in hot water now if he's able to even return back to his seat. He's technically in pitch right now currently, so that's a good thing. But if he did lag out, that's probably automatically started the tow for him, so he's going to have to tow himself all the way back to pits and then start the repair.
Oh, look at there. Eric Rodeman up in the top 5 now. Driving that beautiful My World of Whiskey car designed by yours truly.
A lot of shakeups here exiting pits. Gibson, Holloway still 1 and 2 right now. Hurt in 3rd. Yates in 4th.
Stand corrected. Stand corrected. Eric Rodeman is not in 4th. I didn't have my playback on live. It's a little behind.
You know, that would help you a little bit.
Yeah, I rewinded it to watch Banky get called home, and I never clicked it back to the live mode.
Of course, 5th caution of the night. That was the longest green flag run we have had. Still not a green flag pit cycle in sight. Nor do I think there will be one for the entirety of the night.
If things keep going the way they're going, I'm inclined to agree with you.
I mean, we've already had 5 cautions before we can get the stage break. That means we're probably going to have another 5 cautions after the stage break. There's going to be a lot more laps and more time wasted pacing here tonight than there will be under green flag conditions, and you hate to see it. But, I mean, the drivers do it to themselves. So far, we've had 15 laps. Under caution, it'll be 16 this time across the line. Well, the pace lights are off, so it'll be 15. Only 5 lead changes as of right now. Of course, low line will be your control car for this restart. Will be the 17 of Gibson. Of course, pace lights are off. When they hit that pit entrance, that pace truck will be off, going back down to pits, hopefully for the rest of stage number 1.
And let's just hope they can get this thing sorted out and give the fans some good hard 200-mile-an-hour racing as opposed to some 70-mile-an-hour pacing.
I mean, the fans most likely still loving it anyway because of all the wrecks. What fan doesn't love a good wreck?
Yeah, that's the truth too.
At the same
And
time,
it's even better when it's on iRacing. You don't have to worry about anybody being hurt or the hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment.
yeah, because we have to get some pretty, crazy rain swept here and there. And I'm talking iRacing, not on TV. '17 out really good. Holloway falling down to 6th place. He went to the outside, goes
He's
back
working
in,
his way into the inside line now.
and back up he goes. Bottom side actually losing a lot of momentum as drivers are going up to the top side. And another huge wreck.
And I completely missed that one.
Corey Rainey with a meatball flag. Daniel Holloway with a meatball flag.
Take a peek at it here. Oh, talk about calamity.
Looks like a little bit too much contact from the rear of the 21. Holy hell, sent him spinning in the air almost over the catch fence. As the 4 car is just cruising on its passenger side door.
Just as we were talking about exciting wrecks, we get the catastrophic one.
I mean, literally, Josh Ball also involved in that. He got under the 4 of Rainey and then made extra contact with Holloway as well. Front nose damage for him. You got Chase Greer with a black flag. Holloway with a meatball.
You've got Corey Rainey riding on the top of Josh Ball's car. And then Holloway just turns into a Beyblade on the backstretch.
Holloway had to tow into
Eric,
pits, so that's not a good sign either. I mean, I guess if you're anybody, and you're the 17 adult Gibson, you're cheering.
and the 88 of Dylan Picklesheimer. I'm sure he's not exactly angry that Holloway was turned into a Beyblade.
Still tough situation. Because Holloway now having to tow it to pits, that's going to give him roughly about 2 to 3 minutes before they can even work on that car. If he does decide to use his fast repair, he'll still probably go a lap down. Then he'll have to fight to get back on lead lap, which here doesn't seem like it's going to be too much of a problem tonight.
No.
But Gibson now kind of getting what he needs. Holloway is 22 positions behind him.
Still plenty of race to go, but I gotta imagine that old Dalton Gibson's he's probably feeling a little bit of pressure off of his shoulders now.
I mean, yes and no, because now Holloway is going to be fighting a little bit harder when he gets back to that lead lap to get that spot back. You still got almost 60 laps left in the race before, we could even say who your champion is. So I mean, it might be temporary stress off of his back, but it's not completely out of the situation. Of course, Gibson keeping that lead. At the time of the caution, he will be your control car. Choose cone at the line this time by, and we still notably have a lot of cars in pits. Josh Ball going into pits now, probably get some gas. Chase Greer with a black flag, most likely EOL for entering closed pits. Zach Stevens still in pits, he's exiting now. Trevor Yates in pits. Corey Rainey in pits. And then, of course, Banky and Leash. Now, this is going to be interesting because the 88 of Pickle Simmer is going to start inside of Gibson in row 2.
I'm sure his inner thoughts are telling him to turn him as soon as it goes green.
I mean, would also be a bad thing too, because you're putting a lot of damage on yourself. And I mean, I feel like at this point, no driver has a fast repair left in the bank.
Yeah, it has been a bumpy road for these guys so far.
And it's only going to continue as well, because we still have a whole stage to go after we finish this one. Of course, lights are off. We will be back green this time on the control car. Now to the restart zone we go.
And we are green once again. And Tyler Hurt seems to be holding that inside line up pretty bad.
Good run from Gibson. He was able to clear low. Now the question is, how long does this last? 8 to go in the stage.
I'm predicting about 4 laps.
Hopefully not, because then that's going to give them one hell of a one-lap shootout.
I'm hoping that we stay green.
I mean, for the driver's sakes at this point, yeah, I do hope we stay green, because there's not much more damage some of these cars on the field can take tonight.
Yeah. Seeing a couple of new faces up in the top 10 after that big one. Things starting to shift around a little bit. The field looks a little different.
Of course, Gibson still has the lead here right now. He's doing pretty good with 6 laps to go. He's had it since the restart, and of course under the caution laps as well. Starting to get some competition on the outside. Riddle will take the lead there.
And Josh Riddle's car reminds me, I think he's going for like a Mystery Machine inspired scheme there. That's what it reminds me of with that teal and green and orange.
I will say vibrant colors. Very bright car.
A little bit of 3-wide racing behind the leaders.
I mean, leaders have been doing a pretty good job tonight to try to hold some people at bay when it comes down to it. Now it's Gibson's turn to not get washed out on the bottom side here, as we just have 5 to go.
Gibson doing all he can to keep the field behind him.
I mean, that's not an easy feat either. Once these Candy Shack guys can get out to the lead, it's like a shark with blood in the water. It's kind of inevitable.
It's a good way to get turned is lead the race at Talladega. And speaking of turned, we've got guys around the 3 car, the 14 involved. How many laps did I say? Did I predict? Did we make it? Did I get it right?
We have definitely made it past it, because we were at 46 laps and done entirely right now, which would technically be lap 47. But of course, 7th caution. Actually, no, you might have been on the money.
I think I was right on it.
Right on the money. Of course, Wilson involved in that wreck that time. It didn't even pop up on my screen there.
Yeah, I'm going back to look at it now. It wasn't that major at first until I believe that's the 3 of Alan Hess. I think he got the worst of it.
I see him, Guerrero, going off track there with Wilson. Yeah, I would it's safe to say Wilson got the worst of it, getting tapped twice, and then that tap setting you up to the outside wall to make contact, get a little bit of damage on the car. Probably was praying, and he stayed going towards the inside of the field.
Yeah, I think Alan Hess was lucky. He could have, could have come out of that a lot worse than what he did.
Now, of course, lap 48, this will finish the stage under caution, most likely. If that's the case, the win will be going to Dalton Gibson, but they are not staying out. So maybe I'm wrong.
If Dalton Gibson wins the stage, he's more than led a lap. All he needs is that clean race bonus, and it might have been enough for him, especially considering how the position that Daniel Holloway's in right now.
It might be enough to solidify him. I don't think it will be, though. I mean, if it is, it's going to be very, very, very close. Right now, Josh Ball still in pits. different leader now, 31, Todd Poston, with Gibson now in second place. Now, of course, here choose cone next time by. Then we will be back green flag racing. It's been a tough one so far for a lot of these drivers. 7 cautions right now before we hit the halfway point. Holloway now back on lead lap, but he'll start all the way at the rear of the field. So he's got a lot to have to work up.
We've got a Holloway lookalike leading the pack. The Todd Poston and the Hershey's Kiss machine out front. Almost had me fooled there for a second. I'm always a big fan when teams run matching schemes, but you gotta imagine it's hell for the spotters.
It's hell for us up here too.
Tell you whose scheme isn't hard to spot. That is Dylan Picklesheimer's number 88 Dale Jr. throwback scheme, because that thing stands out anywhere I see it.
Very cut and clean scheme. It's a good one to have on track, especially when we're in the Gen 4, Gen 5 cars. It looks really good on them.
Mm-hmm. And he's also easy to spot on track because he's usually the guy getting out of line, trying to make a move and form a new line or make a dangerous pass.
Yeah, it's probably been about the story of his life this season. First few races, he kind of was on that same strategy, and it hurt him pretty bad, where he had a few DNFs at the race because of damage. But, you know, trying to turn around here with as much as we have left, which is all but today. So now he's kind of in a rock and a hard place. Do you keep doing the same thing that led you here, strategy-wise? Do you change the strategy and hope for the best? You know, it's really getting crunch time for some of these drivers.
Yeah, it's a tough call, because if you DNF because you're aggressive, but being aggressive also gets you in the final four, a DNF tonight means you're done, but the highs are high and the lows are low.
Now, of course, going back to green flag. This time by in the restart zone. Now, of course, green flag back out now.
We'll give them a very somber, slow boogity, boogity, boogity for their pacing tonight.
Gibson in the lead, just barely holding on.
Oh, Picklesheimer's in trouble a bit. He avoids it, but cars are around.
Again, really close here to some craziness. Now, technically, the stage break would end. But I don't know. Seems like we might have another accident.
Oh, there was. I'm looking at... Watch Picklesheimer and the 15 car. Looks like the 15 gets out of line just a little too much
play. Pickle Simmer, you can tell, definitely didn't expect him to make that move, which just costed them a lot of good positions here at the end of stage number 1. Of course, we're going to take our first commercial break of the night while these drivers are pacing, and we shall be back with some more good action.
Got a great car, great team. Let's go execute.
Time to turn the intensity up.
Fight to the end, no matter what happens. Good day, be in victory lane.
The after jets are don't count out anybody. Who wants it the most?
We are eyes on the leader now.
What a victory this will be.
Next flag is going to hit.
Does he have enough? Let's go. A dominant performance. They're going to say no, baby. Let's go.
You gotta earn this thing.
It is all on the table.
Now, of course, a tough and difficult situation majority of drivers have found themselves in right now, coming back from that commercial break. We still have Dalton Gibson in the lead right now, with Tyler Hurt in second, Josh Riddle in third. Of course, your playoff drivers nowhere to be found in the top 10 other than in 8th place, 21 of Daniel Holloway. Oh no, I'm sorry. Josh Ball is also in 9th. Where are my eyes? And I'm wearing glasses.
Maybe a little tortoise in the hare situation here with Josh Ball, just working, whittling at it till he gets back up there and try to be there in the end.
You know, I'm not going to lie to you, Reaper. I don't know if they've ever tried the relaxed cautions, but it would, at the same time, kind of probably be a little nice. Because these drivers practically should have been a little bit more indulged into the race at this point in time, but of course the cautions have slowed down the pace a lot.
Tell you what, funny funny story. I hung out with the 96 Eric Rodeman this weekend, and we went to this sim racing place, and he booted up a session hosted for us, and he set it up. Every car on the track was AI, and they were ARCA cars, and we were in the next gens, and it was chaos.
I can imagine. Put ARCA into anything and it's pure chaos.
He was trying to be quick because we paid for an hour of the thing. Pace truck's off. Here we are.
Back green flag now. 17 of Gibson getting a pretty good run on the inside once again.
A lot of Candy Shack drivers up front in this front pack.
Could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing because we don't know who is going to try to help Holloway and who's going to try to help Gibson. Of course, new leader back out is the 17. 12 had him there for just a few seconds. Now, of course, they are still side by side for the lead here. Nothing crazy happening. Still looking pretty good so far for the start of stage number 2. A little bit of 3 wides action, a lot of wiggling going on, and it's also another reason we've seen a lot of cautions here tonight.
Maybe race control got on the horn with these drivers at the stage break and told them to clean it up.
I mean, that probably would be the wisest move to go. 44 laps to go now in stage 2. Probably could have been around about 20 to go now. Maybe about the 35 mark. You know, it's added a lot more wear and tear and stress onto these Championship 4 drivers. Of course, the 17 still holding the lead strong right now. You got some guys trying to make runs on the outside, 2, 3 wides. Rodeman in 3rd, now 4th place. Holloway all the way up to 3rd himself.
If I recall correctly, Rodeman was in the finals of the losers bracket tournament they had. Lost out to Vincente Guerrero.
Still fighting for that spot here tonight. Will make it happen. Guerrero had a really good race last week. Trying to look to kind of re-solidify it for him here tonight to get that best of the rest. But once again, still a tough situation for a lot of drivers to have to face tonight.
Looks like a slow car on track up in front of this pack. Let's see how they navigate it. Getting into some lap traffic.
Picklesimmer now getting the lead. Don't think he'll hold it long. Daniel Honeycutt just behind. Of course, the last few laps have been really
And
good
he's
racing.
around. Caution out. The 3 of Alan Hess involved. One of the Hershey Kiss bandits can't tell from this view.
It's going to be the 31 in Boston. Candy Shack really not getting a break tonight.
Picklesheimer will stick around out front.
You know, and as always, probably seeing these drivers go in for a top off on gas, give you a little bit of an extra fuel run, could save you in the late stages of the race where you'll be able to push around another lap with some cars in your pack to be able to pit all with them.
Call me a pessimist, but I think these guys are going to have plenty of chances to come down pit road and get some gas under caution before this thing's over.
Now we're seeing them still try to catch up, coming out of pits, going into pits. It's like a war in that pit lane when majority of the drivers do pit, because you're fighting for at least 2, maybe 4 positions. Now, of course, Picklesimmer is in the lead, but he will go to pits this time with a lot of other drivers.
Almost the whole field coming down pit road. Only a few staying out. See Trevor Yates, looks like he's staying out. Stephen Alessi staying out. Probably a bit of a team strategy from them.
Now you gotta wonder how long that team strategy is really gonna even prevail you with what we've seen here tonight. Team strategies kind of what looks to be off the window, out the windows, unless, you know, maybe that contingency comes up where you need that finish, your teammate's going to push you. I don't really think we're going to see much teamwork here tonight.
Certainly not from the playoff drivers, that's for sure.
Of course, getting ready to go back green here. Picklesimmer in the lead at this point in time. Holloway in second. Rhodes is in third right now with Gibson sitting in fourth. It's not, I would say, too bad for Gibson right now, but he's still got 2 out of the 4 drivers sitting ahead of him, not by much. So, of course, he still has the opportunity to make it back to the lead and kind of clear himself some of these wrecks he might be enduring if he were to stay where he's at or even further back.
We're fixing to find out.
Of course, line positioning is everything here. We're going to take a look and see exactly where this 88 is going to put himself. Now, of course, we will be green this time by Pickle Simmer Holloway, row number 1. Of course, anticipation is all we have right now. 4 drivers have worked as hard as they possibly can to get to this point. Few of them have been in wrecks and no fault of their own. But now honestly, these drivers have to start answering the biggest question. That being, do they think they can even win?
And the 21 of Daniel Holloway certainly having the biggest target on his back, being having the easiest path to victory there.
I mean, it's literally the easiest pass for Holloway. All he has to do is win. And he is good. He will knock out the rest of the drivers that are currently in the 4. Of course, finally, we will be back green this time by, as the green flag is going to come out now. Pickle Simmer in the lead. Holloway not too far behind. 37 more laps to go for stage number 2.
I'm trying my
Pickles.
best. I'm getting it. I'll go.
Pickle Simmer holding the lead right now. Teammate of Christian Rhodes not too far behind. He's trying to give him some good positioning to get this win. Now, remember, still contingencies around everyone other than Holloway. Right now, Pickle Simmer needs a Holloway 13th, 11th, 13th, or 18th finish while he finishes in 1st, 3rd, or 8th. Now, not getting that stage win for stage number 1 is going to kind of hurt a little bit. But, you know, it's pretty manageable. They are almost wrecking now.
See the bright green tree frog of Josh Ball lose a lot of spots there, all the way back.
Might be trying to play into the gas strategy as well. Again, Josh Ball has not pitted since lap 62. Actually, he is the best right now on gas, so that might be what he's trying to set up for.
And we've got Vincente Guerrero around, Eric Rodman involved. Big spin in the back. Towards about the middle of the pack there. Looks like he running side by side with Josh Riddle, just got a little too close there, and they bounced off, collected Poston.
Now, of course, another caution. Another commercial. It's unfortunate what these drivers have been going through here tonight. 10th caution of the night. We still have about 40 laps to go. Of course, we will be back after another word here. Don't go anywhere.
Eat your food. Let's go. I want to taste your banana pudding. You taste my banana pudding. It's on. It's on.
I was going to say, will you marry me?
Is my makeup messy? Yes, it's messy.
Consumer Cellular can help people save on their cell phone bills. That's why I cut my car in half. This year, let's cut even more things to show people how much they can save. Let's cut the face off of our helmets. Let's cut the top off of our steering wheel. Let's even cut our hats.
Isn't that just a visor?
Shut up, Chris. Great. Can't wait to see what y'all come up with.
Get your second month free with Consumer Cellular.
Coming back here from commercial break, we got Dalton Gibson in the lead. Pickle Simmer sitting confidently and comfortably in 4th place right now. Of course, another driver that everybody's paying attention to, Daniel Holloway, P7. Josh Ball sitting in 13th. Gibson has a lot riding on this race today. He needs his teammate, the 21, to wreck out or finish 11 positions different from him tonight.
And honestly, I'm surprised to see Josh Ball still in this thing. You know, he had a lot of trouble early on. He's already got the deck stacked against him. I'm rooting for him, if nobody else is, that he'll be able to make something shake and pull off the impossible here tonight. But it's all but impossible at this point.
I mean, even if Ball doesn't win tonight, which at this point isn't looking like the best unless these two drivers wreck out at some point in time tonight. He had a pretty insane playoff run. First off, he had a two-way tie with him in the 9 of Sam Taylor at the end of the regular season, which converted it to a round of 13 because there technically wasn't anything within the rules that would have stopped him from actually being able to race. So even with Ball getting wins in the postseason and, you know, making a good playoff effort, you really still can't say that it was a wasted opportunity this season.
For sure. And I'm seeing him, you know, I'm watching him hang back. I think he's onto something. These guys that are in the playoffs out front, beating, banging, they're really just setting themselves up to get turned at some point. And if you watch him, he's hanging out right around the back of that first pack, giving himself some space, saving gas when he can. And I like to think he'll be there at the end.
Well, this is also where it's going to start to end up getting messy anyway, due to the fact that there is only 30 laps to go now. Drivers have literally a make or break situation. Do we get a win?
Big stack up there. Not a wreck, sorry. Big little stack up there behind Alan Hess. Check the whole field up behind him.
Like you said, thankfully we kept it green there. Progress bar on the top for anybody that's following along at home. You know, we brought in the race progress bar a few weeks ago, showing you all of the green flag lap and caution laps. There has been a pretty big yellow streak across it. At this point, it's starting to look like a barcode a little bit. I mean, as of right now, we have 30 laps under caution at 10 cautions right now, with 29 left to go in the entirety of the race. I hate to be the one to say it, but we already know that they're not done with. The cautions are still going to be coming back out. The question is when, and I mean, at that point, that's almost more than a quarter of your race done under caution.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to whose car still got wheels on it when the white smoke settles, you know.
I mean, it's difficult right now to even think of a possible winner. We got Holloway in the lead, Gibson in second. But, I mean, we've also seen this before. It doesn't last long for a lot of drivers, so the biggest question is who's going to have the most momentum at the end of the race. Holloway only has to worry about getting a win. He is capable of it. We have seen him do it multiple times so far this season, trying to do it again for the last time this season.
In addition to the playoffs, I'm also watching out. I'm enjoying watching some of these guys that have came over from NASCAR 25 and are new to iRacing. Watching some of these guys have some success in this league. Nothing too crazy, nothing too. I don't think they've got any wins or anything yet, but I know Matt Wilson has been racing a lot here, and Stephen Alessi, Trevor Yates. I think he's been doing pretty good. Those are all good friends of mine.
It's a pretty hard transition. I can say that by experience, as I have also come over from NASCAR. I will say Heat 5 because I downloaded 25 and realized how god awful that game is, and said, yeah, they'll do it. So, looking at it for a lot of these guys that are on track now that had no idea that they would be here at this point in time of the year. Of course, that's also a big learning curve that you have to take into accountability for a lot of these drivers, and that's probably why we see some of these cautions. It's still a lot of drivers perfecting their racecraft, perfecting the line. Now, another thing that really changes the tides here is also the simple fact that these drivers, there's a 3 wide, they're bumping, they're
3
banging.
wide, bumping and banging into the wall, and there's the caution.
Not good, my friend, not good.
I believe that was, I want to say Poston, but I can't be 100% certain.
We are hopefully going to go figure out who that was due to the fact that it didn't actually grab.
I'm watching right now. I will tell you. It started with...
One thing, I don't know why. Sorry, I had to. Looks like the 343 of Hancock, actually, on a 3 wide there.
Yeah. Well, if you notice, right before that happened, Alan Hess was slowed up just a little bit, got into a little bit of an entanglement there with the 1 car, and checked up, kind of put him in a bad spot above the 343, and then he busted wide open after that.
Yeah, put Greer in the wall. I mean, the two drivers really getting the worst hand out of all of that. I'm surprised the 3 car Hess didn't really have that bad of a spin. I mean, yeah, he got pinballed around. He slammed Greer into the wall and then kind of went back up and self-spun to the nose, but I actually figured his car would be looking a little bit worse than that coming into the end of the race. Now, it also seems like he might have retired his car. I believe he is now out of the race. I could be wrong.
I'm riding along on my screen. I'm checking. Looks like Eric Rodeman dropped due to a packet loss. Didn't see. I thought he might have been involved in the wreck. He wasn't. He just disappeared.
You're right now. Rodeman out, Rainey out.
I think I'd hate that more than wrecking, to just lose my internet.
Yeah, tell me about it, brother. That happened to me live on a broadcast last night.
No, actually, I guarantee you. I bet you anything, Eric lost his internet because of that big storm coming over New Jersey right now.
Yeah.
It actually is what delayed my flight, and the reason I basically walked in from the airport and jumped right on the broadcast.
With literally about 20 minutes to spare, not even.
No prep time, just in here.
No. First
just
night
walked
together.
right in. No talking points, just straight
Nothing.
up. Hey, how are you?
We're getting it in chat. Internet died for Eric.
You hate to see it. Hay was running a good race too. He was in the top 10 a lot of the night. I'm not sure. It says he's connected back. Hopefully, it was just a surge and he can get back on the track not too far behind.
Thing that sucks for him though is, having to technically have your car taken out of the race like that is gonna have that tow initiate. So unless it's overrideable, he's stuck in there until they technically get the car back to pits. Then he'll also be taking a fast repair, or if he didn't have it checked, or tires. So it's also a tough situation, having your internet go out as you're racing, and then fighting possibly a lap down as well.
Seeing the leaders staying out here, not jumping down pit road.
And looking at the leader, Vicente Guerrero's tower telemetry, he's got a full tank of gas. Gibson as well, full tank of gas. They pitted on lap 77. Everybody up, well, a lot more drivers have pitted at lap 77. All the way up to 18th have pitted at lap 77 or out. Horst, who's a lap down, was at 76. Rodman, lap 75. Corey Rainey out for a long time. Rodman will get the wave around though. Gibson still praying on Holloway's downfall. He's in 14th right now.
I don't know. Luck is staying on Picklesheimer's side tonight. He's been in. He's been around. He's been making some pretty risky moves, and it hasn't bit him yet. If he can hold out for about 20 more laps. Still not sure if that'll be enough to secure it for him, though.
I don't know. I mean, at this point in time, a lot of contingencies are starting to take place as the pace truck comes off this time. We're going to go back to green. Guerrero, technically the control car at this point in time. But I mean, still a lot that needs to happen. I mean, of course, Holloway just needs the win. Picklesheimer needs the stage win, which is now out of the question, or the finish 10 spots ahead of Holloway. And then same with Gibson. He needed that stage win or finishing 11 spots above Holloway. I believe Gibson did get the stage 1 win, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He did, and he has led a lap, but does he have that clean race bonus?
I mean, I think right now all he's all he's banking on is going to be Holloway staying 11 positions away from him. He's in 3rd, Holloway's in 15th. He literally has it by 1 position if this was the final lap right now. Still 21 to go, though.
And Picklesheimer is beating the back bumper down on Vicente Guerrero, telling him to get on the gas and get going.
Can you blame the guy?
For a second there, they had some space. It reminded me of the glory days in NASCAR, the old 2-car tandem. And he's going to waste no time taking that move to the inside. Helps with him. Not enough, though. Not nearly enough. The high side's got a big run on him. A couple of guys are going to jump down to the bottom now.
Kind of unfortunately been the story of the night for that high side. It's just not been able to work. Of course, when we had this the second to last update here for iRacing, it seemed like the high side was unbeatable, and then we got this season update for 2026, and now it's kind of fizzled back out. It's being a draft-dependent high side with a main run coming from your low side. And I think a lot of people haven't really paid attention to that, because we're seeing a lot of them still, you know, try to push that 3 wide easily. A few weeks ago, you were able to push that 3 wide and literally have the lead within a lap or so, and now we're not seeing that anymore.
I personally am a big fan of running the high side. Only disadvantage to that is whoever's leading that high side, they love to jump down to the bottom as soon as they get clear, and sometimes that'll end up killing the run for the whole line behind them.
Yeah, you're literally having to teeter-totter, pick and choose what to do and when to do it, and unfortunately some...
And Holloway with a big run coming up works his way all the way up to second place. Gets separated from his teammate Todd Poston though.
See Zach Stevens and Matthew Wilson 1 and 2 right now as well. I mean, a lot of shakeups coming from the field that we probably
Love to
didn't
see my
expect at this
friend.
point in time.
Would love to see my good friend Matt Wilson lead a lap here.
He's still not out of the question. Wilson now currently in the lead on the middle side. They're getting wiggly. There it is.
There it is.
Guerrero off
Vincente
track
Guerrero.
again.
Believe he's the only one involved in that one.
Yeah, a little solo car spin there, and once again the 3 wide takes another victim.
And I said it and brought it into fruition, and server daddy, owner of the league, ASCRL, Matt Wilson will lead a lap here at Talladega.
I would say
And
a
I'll tell you,
well-deserved lap.
if there's one guy that hated iRacing until he got it, let me tell you. He didn't want nothing to do with iRacing until he got on, and now you can't beat him off of it.
I was about to say that's about normally how it goes for everybody. They don't want
I
to
was
do
in
it.
that bandwagon. I jumped on iRacing about the same time he did, and I suck. So catch me in the mini stocks and the legends and stuff like that.
I mean, it's not the worst, but it does take a lot of time to get acclimated to, and I feel like that's where a lot of people have their problems come from. It's just, you know, you go from arcade racing on a daily basis to having to fight the car, fight drivers, and really know what to do and when to do it, and you know, it kind of puts a damper on a lot of people's spirits. But it isn't. I wouldn't say it's the easiest, but it's not the worst.
As someone who's done iRacing and NASCAR 25, I find that iRacing is easier to drive on, but it's less forgiving.
Yes.
Obviously, with the damage model and the physics model. But
well, and then your incident count too. You know, you come in from an arcade game and you're not used to being told you got to park it because you have too many incident points and you're DQ'd, and you know that's a whole new ball game for you.
Well, that's my ASCRL iRacing debut at Daytona in the trucks. The caution came out and I still had control of the car, and I rear-ended the field. Running every bit of 150, 160 miles an hour, and I didn't lift a millimeter.
That is what we call ARCA braking, my friend.
Because I was expecting that it would take it away from me.
It definitely will not, I'll tell you that. And going from assisted cautions to self-cautions is one hell of a thing. It is a blessing and a curse, honestly.
I tell you, you want to know what the curse of the self cautions are? Is the amount of time it takes to get through them, because
Yes.
you have 15 cautions in a NASCAR 25 race, it's over and done in 11 minutes.
Yeah, you're done with a 25%er pretty quick. You're done with a 50%er with in about 2 hours. So big time differences for sure. I mean, we can see here off the pace laps how long these cautions are, and kind of do the math ourselves here. No, I didn't do good in math, so don't expect it to be an accurate number.
I'm telling you, I probably didn't do much better. I like science and history.
Yep, I am the same. I mean, it looks like the last time for the leader, he hasn't crossed the line yet for this time. The last time was about 1:47.
And Daniel Holloway finds his way back into the top 5. But
2 minutes and 16 seconds.
talk about a lap time.
It's about an hour's worth of pacing in itself. I mean, look, Matthew Wilson will still start as pole position now, with Josh Ball all the way up to 33 all the way up to second. Holloway's in fourth though, so that's a
Picklesheimer not far behind. I've been watching, and I'm seeing the 31 and the 97 of Tyler Hurt very willing to help Holloway drafting, and they're lined up. Only Christian Road separates them. I look for them do whatever they can do to help him out, especially with teammate Dalton Gibson a little further back in the pack now.
I mean, you got to think how much of Candy Shack is split right now, trying to figure out who to push or who to work with. You don't want to upset your team owner, but at the end of the day, they know it's competition. They knew this was going to be the thing that's going to have to happen tonight, so they, either both of them have had to expect it coming into the Final Four.
Oh, it looks like we'll get a little bit of contact under caution, actually. Nothing too crazy. Big checkup by the 31 got into him, and then the 97 almost got the wall, it looks like. Looks like they'll get it sorted out before the pace truck gets off the road, though.
And the pace lights are off. It is in this time. Just almost 15 laps left of the race here.
And one more time for Matt Wilson, buddy. Let's see what you got. Get out there and get a jump on them.
Green flag back out now. 13 laps to go before we have the inaugural Season 1 champion.
Picklesheimer and Holloway hooking up. Of course, Picklesheimer wastes no time peeking to the outside. He's looking to work with Holloway here.
So far, so good. 71 with a good bump to the bottom side.
My fingers, toes, and everything is crossed. Good friend Matt Wilson losing some positions there, back to 5th place.
Zach Stevens holding the lead there for a little bit, and there goes Picklesimmer to overtake him for the lead now.
Seems like the cars on the bottom are just a little squirrely, don't exactly know. Having a little trouble getting in line good. And there's Josh Ball, like I said earlier, jumping out to take the front of the low line.
"12 laps to go, 11 this time, cross the line, and it is getting down to the wire." Tyler Hurt now currently in the lead.
It's looking a little shaky.
They are going 3 wide all
Three
over
wide.
their lines.
Bold strategy. Let's see how it works out for them. Stevens will pass. Josh Ball on the bottom. The 1 will get into the 47. Doesn't cause anything crazy.
Oh my God, they're off track in the apron in the middle of a turn. 8 is around. Alessi around. Off track. Probably unsafe pit exit. Meatball flag to Alessi. That is another Candy Shack driver with some situations. 88 at Picklesimmer just got put in the wall there. We got the 71 at Yates off track. Rejoins there. It is a
Big
mess
shake
right
up
now.
here. Big shake up here with about 10 to go.
We
Holloway
might see
trying to
another
work with
caution.
Trevor Yates. It's coming. It's coming. And blinking you'll miss it, but Dalton Gibson has found his way back into the front once more. He is up to 5th position looking like.
Now the worst thing about this is a last lap caution, a last lap wreck. Of course, that's not going to pull the caution if the white flag is out. And if the championship drivers are involved in that, it is going to have to go off the finishing positions with the highest amount of points.
Not an ideal situation.
No, and I mean, margins were very small for these drivers. Mathematically, all of them had the opportunity to get the championship today. It just boiled down to who was able to outperform who.
And despite, don't want to speak too soon, but despite amazing driving by all 4 of the playoff drivers, any of the other 3's, their chance at the championship was hinging on Daniel Holloway having the worst night of his career, and it doesn't appear like that's going to happen.
No, Holloway is literally setting himself up for the win. We've seen this from Holloway before. Now he's trying to do it again one last time for season 1.
Oh, we've got a car around, and there's a caution.
And there are drivers cursing under their breath. Adam Kilday in the 85 around on the track by himself. We're going to go ahead and see exactly what happened with him. Ooh, bad bump. Bad bump from the 47 of Zach Stevens. Sent him around to the outside wall. Definitely hurt his opportunity there of a good finish here. And now we have the 13th caution of the night out. Of course, with that caution, we are going to shoot it to our sponsors and affiliates, whatever you want to call them, for one more time tonight. Then we will have the rest of the race here for you guys. So do not go anywhere, because we will be back in just a few minutes.
Toyota has 3 NASCAR Cup teams. We got Team 2311, owned by this guy, and 3-time Daytona winner Denny Hamlin. But Denny Hamlin races for another team, Joe Gibbs Racing. Yeah, Super Bowl winning head coach Joe Gibbs. And they both share the track with Legacy Motor Club, co-owned by 7-time Cup champ Jimmy Johnson. 3 epic teams, 4 legendary owners, all going after 1 cup. Now you're up to speed. You in?
Hendrick.
Summer is here and you've got places to go.
She's headed to a golf tournament.
This one's headed to the beach.
And he's headed to a music festival.
And they know every good road trip starts right here.
At Hendrick Automotive Group.
We'll check your battery, tire pressure, top off your fluids,
Check your cooling system. And do a multi-point inspection.
extending the life of your vehicle.
And keeping you safe anywhere you want to go.
For free.
Just make sure you're road ready.
All good road trips start here.
Book your road ready appointment today at hendrickcars.com.
Last year, Ram killed the Hemi V8, and people had opinions. The same people that killed the Hemi sent me out here with these comments. That's not happening. We own it, we got it wrong, and we're fixing it. You hear that? That's our Hemi, and it's saying, I'm back.
Did he say what I think he said? That thing's got a Hemi!
Hell yeah, it does.
You want more? Buckle up. Rams coming back to NASCAR.
Let's go. We're back in America's motorsport. The Hemi's back, and we ain't going anywhere.
Of course, here now, 13th caution of the night. Picklesimmer finds himself in the lead at this point in time. Finale race here for season 1 now. Gibson in 4th. Holloway in 6th. Not looking too good for the chances of Gibson here tonight. Well, actually, no. He needed the stage win or the 11th place finish. I believe him and Picklesimmer both needed a stage win or the 11th finish. So Gibson is actually in the best spot right now with his stage win, as that would have knocked out a lot of points. Of course, Picklesimmer needs that finish now, 10 spots ahead. I mean, so far so good. We only have a few cars out. Not nothing too crazy right now. But still, yeah, if there are 10 cars left, there's going to be literally like a 4-lap shootout here. Practically an unofficial green-white checkered. We're going to start off with 88 going to take us back to green flag in the restart zone on his command.
We've seen him get big jumps off in the restart as well. Josh Ball was quick to get up in there.
Now Yates being awarded the lead on the high side.
That high side has had some speed tonight. If the guys would just stop abandoning it, we might, you know, they might be able to make a big charge, but I definitely understand the strategy behind wanting to get clear and getting down on that inside first chance you get.
Yeah, that inside is always going to prevail. It's just how far do you want to risk it on that outside? You know, possibly put yourself in a bad situation. It's getting dicey up here.
And there's the one car is down. Oh, and that will effectively end Josh Ball's hopes at anything tonight as he gets absolutely rammed by the one car.
Oh, Gibson also.
We're staying green. We've got Picklesheimer. And you know what? Shame on them for wearing Todd Poston in second place, and I'm assuming that would put Holloway in the fourth place position.
It's going to be official now with 3 laps to go, unless someone wrecks out the 21 of Daniel Holloway.
Will be the champion.
Yeah, even I do not think this win here from Picklesheimer will be enough. Now they're getting dicey. It's still a possibility. 2 laps to go. White flag. Next time we cross the line.
Notice as well, Eric Rodeman in the 96 World of Whiskey car. He's came back from that lag out and he's back up in the top 6, looking for maybe another position or 2 before this thing is done.
Holloway trying to make a move on Picklesheimer to the high side. He is not going to let that happen. Poston now going to be low. Picklesheimer trying to hold both lines. That is almost going to give.
Oh, and there's caution is out, but Holloway is hurt.
That is what he needs.
That is exactly what Picklesheimer was hoping for, as
now,
he'll get to the apron and check up big time.
The big question is that going to be under review after the race finishes? Because he was blocking both lines. Now, looking back at the replay here, it wasn't caused necessarily by that is the wrong camera. What are we doing, production? There we go. It wasn't technically caused necessarily by the 88. Because you see the 21 gets the run on the outside there. He comes back down on top of the 85. The 85 doesn't check, goes to get centered, and looks to give a bad bump, which then breaks the 21 down on the inside, saves it off his teammate, and then clears himself off the 85. So, I mean, the 88 technically not doing anything wrong. He was lane blocking, which is allowed, but you have to wonder, if he gets this win, will that be up for review?
And you see after the wreck, Holloway gets to the inside wall and just eats it all the way down pit road. Gotta imagine he just got black flagged for that.
Yeah, they'll most likely clear that black flag due to the fact that it was a non-avoidable incident, but still the damage is already done for Holloway. Unless he has a fast repair in the bank. Which I would be surprised. I feel like everybody was cashing checks early tonight.
I'm actually showing Holloway is disconnected at the moment, that he is not manually disconnected.
Well, there it is. That is an unfortunate way to have it happen. The 17 and the 33, Gibson and Ball, both get taken out. Then Holloway, not too long after that, which only leaves one driver left standing in your top 4. That is going to be Pickle Simmer. With Holloway 19 positions down and out of the race. This single-handedly has just officially given Pickle Simmer, as long as he can finish in this position, or any 11 positions above Holloway, this will give him the win. Oh no, Gibson is still back on track.
He said it ain't over till it's over.
He was in pitch for 15 seconds. And is on lead lap. Never mind. It just got a little bit more interesting.
Let's see what happens. I am not shocked, to say the least, that we've had some big shakeups here at the end. But I really, my heart breaks for the 21 of Daniel Holloway going out so close to the finish like that.
Yeah, that hurts, you know, working your entire season up for this moment, having really good finishes, and doing everything you can to get a win and locking in a playoff opportunity for yourself, and last 3 laps, it all goes wrong, and kind of feel like it's 16 weeks wasted at that point in time.
Yeah. Yeah, I myself, I'm a big fan of the way Holloway drives. He's one of the most consistent guys in this league. Actually, you know, one of the most consistent guys I've seen driving on iRacing. But sometimes it doesn't spin your way. And Picklesheimer, he's arguably one of the most aggressive drivers I've seen on iRacing. But it's paid off for him every time.
Every
As he
single
sits.
time.
But you know, if you can make the Final Four with multiple DNFs, why would you change the way you drive?
Exactly. Don't fix it. It broke.
That's the truth.
I mean, he's doing a good job right now. I mean, he's holding his own. He's up in the top. Yeah, might not have teammates around him to try to give out some good blocks and, you know, give a little bit extra assistance to what he probably would want. But at the end of the day, you know, you're in a really good position now. You don't need the race win. You just need the finishing position.
Ironically, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, no, you're fine. Now, looking at the other hand for Gibson, having all of that race, really dominant run from you, and looking like you had the opportunity to just hold it in and get a win after leading 35 laps of the race, you know, you got to wonder what's going through his head, how much pressure he has with only 3 laps to make it now, and almost 12 positions to have to change.
I gotta imagine that Gibson's hope is that there's white smoke in front of him and he comes out clean on the other end of it.
Well, now green flag back out, following Gibson in the back of the pack.
A little bit of a gap there between Picklesheimer actually losing some positions here. Losing
There's only
a
2 to
decent
go.
amount of spots.
Picklesheimer down to 6th. They are wrecking again. They saved it. Wreck. Nope. Alessi has just spun. Stephen Alessi off track that time.
And we'll re-rack them and try it one more time.
15 cautions tonight. I believe this is the record here. Adam Kildare
We're actually under par.
Of the 8.
We're under par for the second stage. Felt like we had 10 in the first stage, so we've slacked a little bit.
But I believe overall, for every race, I think 15 is the tie, the highest caution race. I think 16 to 17 might break it. I could probably go back and look at that quick while we have 4 minutes of pacing.
Tell you what, I believe I will have that other beer.
Might as well. No harm, no foul. As I am sitting here trying to find our most caution-filled race. Okay, so our 6th race of the season? Our 8th race of the season had 16 cautions. April 20th at Talladega.
What car were we in? Do you know? Gen 4?
We were in the O'Reilly cars.
Oh, wasn't it that one, so I can't blame me. I thought that Gen 4 race, the first Gen 4 Daytona and Talladega race was, I thought that thing would never end.
I thought so too. That was a tough race.
The Gen 4s are weird because it's, if you're the last car in the pack, you're not in the pack. You're following. You're dropping off. There's nothing you can do about it. So when you're drafting with those cars, if you don't have someone pushing you from behind, you're gonna fall out. And if you had some green flag runs, you know, the cars would get spaced out pretty good. But when you don't have green flag runs, you just cautions breed cautions.
So as of now, it seems like 16 cautions is going to be the record-breaking total. We hit 16, we tie. If we hit 17, we break a season record, which is not one you want to break.
Tell you what, even if it's in another league, I am proud to see one of my drivers sitting on the podium right now, Eric Rodeman in the 96. love nothing more than to see him come away with a win here after the season he's had here. Or lack thereof.
You know, Rodman's had a pretty tough season. He's been consistent. He's been good on points up until he wasn't. But, you know, he hasn't found much success. Consistently, at least. It's kind of hurt him a lot and pushed him down and out at a lot of times, but you know, he has had some comebacks later on in the season to kind of give him a little bit of a run. Now, I mean, you know, top 3 finish, podium finish for the first season, I feel like would be a pretty good end to a rough start for him here.
Yeah. I'd like to see him win because that car he's driving, I painted. And I'd love to see the tires get burnt off of it. Little shameless self-plug there.
Oh, I do it all the time.
Yeah, I honestly, the number one reason that I wanted to own a team in iRacing is so that I could do the paints, because I love creative stuff like that. So when I got Holloway and Rodman and the other guys that joined my team for the other league, I told them, I was like, and Corey Rainey actually is in there as well. I was like, are you guys okay if I paint the cars? You drive what I tell you? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, all right, you're in.
Yeah, Rainey's pretty good at that. A lot of the guys really don't mind as long as the paints are good. Green flag back out, 3 to go again. Pickle Simmer all the way in 5th place.
If the rest of the night is any indication, he will be at the front by the time the next flag comes out.
Horst currently your leader. It is literally a nail biter.
'71 of Trevor Yates looking to see if there's room. Throws a block there on Picklesheimer. Picklesheimer's going to get side by side with him. Josh Ball's going to make it 4 wide. And that'll about do it. Picklesheimer involved bad shape. Rodman makes it through. I see Josh Riddle made it through. The 15 car is through. Looks like, don't quote me, looks like Josh Ball came through. And we are still green by the grace of God.
Ball still driving right now. Highest active playoff driver on the track. Pickle Simmer in 11th. You got Horst and Rodman for the lead right now, fighting.
Help's coming. Help's coming, Eric. Go with Matt. Go with Matt. Come on. Oh, I would love to see him win here.
Out of 3 and 4.
He's got the help. He's got the help. He's got a little help.
They just wrecked.
And Matt's gonna steal it from him, it looks like.
Wilson will get the win.
Matt Wilson will steal it from his teammate.
Josh Ball, the highest finishing playoff driver, just crossed the line.
Will it be enough? I'm going to go back and take a peek at this coming to the finish and see stuff like this. This finish right here is, it's one of the worst. I don't want to say it's the worst thing, but it's one of the downsides to Talladega. You got a long way to that start finish line.
It is a long way to that start finish line.
It is all the way on the other end of that tri-oval. Yeah, it looks like Matt gave him everything he needed to get by him, and he just got into him just a bit, just enough to turn both of them together.
Matthew Wilson, Daniel Haff, and Riddle getting the podium finishes tonight. Wilson officially taking his first win in his own league.
And that'll about do it.
Josh Ball seems to be trying to push somebody to bits. Actually looks like the 17 of Gibson.
I'm gonna ride along with Rodman and see what happens here. He gets the help. He gets the help from Matt. Tries to come down. Maybe he was trying to side draft. I don't know. I probably would have tried to just stay high, but. Looks like we're getting a team burnout here.
It's about normal. We've gotten accustomed to it.
I'm gonna give him the what's for as soon as I get back in that Discord, because the first time I saw a team burnout, I criticized it and he had my back criticizing it. And now here he is doing a team burnout. I can't get behind that.
Ladies and gentlemen, word from the brass. We officially, well, unofficially have a champion in the mixed. The 17 of Dalton Gibson, unofficially your season 1 champion.
You gotta wonder if the 21 of Daniel Holloway is regretting giving him all that help early on.
At this point, you have to think so.
I mean, we were talking about it, how much help do you really want to give him? How many laps do you want to let him lead? And wound up stage 1 winner, and that was the feather that broke the camel's back, I think.
What an insane finish. This is not a traditional championship win here, or a finish. Of course, last lap wrecks always happen. We're going to have to, of course, review that last lap. Well, not us exactly, but race control will have to review that last lap and make sure everything is official to make the call. But as of right now, the 17 of Gibson is officially your season 1 champion.
How about that?
What a race, man.
What, dude, it was fun there. They're coming to the end, and it got exciting.
So, of course, as always, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere, because we're going to have the top 3 interview, which also tops the cake, because Wilson will be there as well. We will have our champion interview, and then, of course, our team champion as well. See if these guys are cooled down enough. Probably not.
Dude, that was wild.
We're going to start our top three interviews. Of course, we're going to get with our third place finisher, that being the 12 of Josh Riddle.
Hello, hello.
How you doing, man?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. Now, of course, one hell of a finish.
Oh, it was something.
Between the race, the finish, the amount of cautions we had here today, how do you feel like your race went?
Uh, throughout all the chaos, this was actually one of the better races for me personally. We spent a lot of time up front. Stayed out of trouble, for the most part. Last week was just brutal. So it was a nice swing in the opposite direction. Good way to end the season. Um, really can't complain about much. Wish we would have had some longer runs, but this HM Motorsports, Chevy, I mean, it was flying tonight, so can't complain.
Now, of course, starting in 18th, making your way all the way up to the top three at the end there. Pretty big accomplishment at the end of the season. Having to go from a back to front type of challenge here, almost reminiscent of a Dirt to Daytona run for you.
Oh yeah.
Now, with the season finally closed, how are you feeling about your performance overall over the last 16 weeks?
I'm actually really proud of how we've done. Um, I think there's a lot to build on. The consistency wasn't quite where we were hoping it would be. Um, there weren't many highs, but there also weren't many lows. We were kind of mid-pack. I'd like to see some improvement next season. It's tough though. This is a great group of guys, a lot of really talented individuals in here. Um, so nothing's really handed out. Um, Moving forward, I think it's pretty important for us at HM Motorsports to buckle down, work together as a team better, as we've seen some other teams do and completely dominate. So there's definitely some growth that needs to happen. But overall, I mean, it's just been a blast. It's been a lot of fun. Great teammate and Alan Hess. Um, Makes the best paint schemes as well. So yeah, I mean, it's just been a great season overall.
Now, looking into next season, how are you feeling, about not only your team, well, not only you, but your team's run compared to a lot of the drivers and teams we've seen this season?
Yeah, no, I think next season's going to be a little bit better. We kind of know what we have going in. We know what to expect. We know who to look out for. I won't mention any names, but we got some favorites and we got some not so favorites in the field. And it's a fun group. Like I said, it's a fun group. Um, but yeah, no, I think next season we'll definitely have some tricks to pull out of the bag. Um, End up in this booth talking to you more than just a couple times. So that's the goal.
Now, of course, looking at the race today, track temps were considerably hot. I believe they were 135 degrees Fahrenheit for almost the entirety of the night. Were you feeling that on your tires?
I did notice the tires were wearing a bit more than the next gen is usually accustomed to. The middle line seemed like it was the line to be in, but every single time that started generating speed, I feel like the top line would start to develop and it'd just pull all the energy away from it. So getting up front was a little bit difficult. It was definitely one of those races where you wanted to stay up front. Um, the fact that we were able to squeeze through there at the end, not get caught up in that wreck, was just right place, right time. We did not have great track position coming to that last green white checker, and if there was another green white checker coming, we were actually going to run out of fuel. So I mean, it was really just right place, right time um, for a lot of this, but fortunately, it worked out.
Looking at, I don't know what I'm trying to look at because it's not pulling up. I had it. There we go. Looking at your season, totaling 1169 in points, one stage win. Unfortunately, no wins on the season, 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s out of 16 or 15 starts. You've had a pretty good run here. Of course, a lot of laps put on the track, 1,400 laps put on the track. Do you feel like a top 3 is a well-deserved finish for the first season?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I think this is I mean, even after we got knocked out of the playoffs a couple weeks back, the goal was to put this car in victory lane. It always has been, always will be. Um, Finishing third here at the end of the season is just it's a great thing for the team back at HM Motorsports, my teammates. It really puts us in a positive mindset moving forward, looking at the second iteration of this league in season 2. So yeah, finishing third, dream come true, honestly. Always want a little bit better, but I will take third place, especially after the ups and downs that this season has been. Yeah, we had some stuff to figure out. It was tough. Um, but yeah, no, I'm happy with the third. I think everybody back at the shop's happy with the third place. Yeah, can't complain about third. Not when you're racing against these guys and it's this competitive.
Now, of course, man, before we let you go and enjoy the rest of your night, whatever's left of it, because it's the next day
Yep.
for me,
Yeah.
do you have any shout outs you want to give to anybody?
Sure, yeah, yeah. No, I'll love to shout out the wife. This Thrustmaster Sim Labs cockpit racing machine that I'm on is the effort of many Christmases and birthdays from her. So I wouldn't be able to do this without her and her support. I'd like to thank the Alan Hess for starting HM Motorsports, bringing me on, helping me out. Dressing me up in some of the finest schemes that this league has seen, in my opinion. Um, like to shout out the booth. You've done great this season. Everybody that put this together, everybody that's here every single week, the competitors. Want to shout out everybody that showed up this season. Um, want to say great job to everybody. Really feel honored to be a part of it, and can't wait to see what happens next season.
Well, of course, man, congratulations on your top 3 finish tonight. Hopefully, we will see you come out a little bit stronger for next season and definitely show everybody who is going to try and reign supreme for season number 2.
Oh yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back. I know that. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir, man. You have a good one.
You too.
That was our 3rd place finisher, Joshua Riddle. Now, 2nd place finisher is going to be Daniel Half. I'm going to get him moved in here. Here we go. 32, 2nd place finisher of Daniel Half.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Pretty
What's up,
good
buddy?
after that one.
So, hell of a finish. First off, top 10
That was
start.
definitely a wild one.
Get the second place finish at the end there after being wrecked in the first caution of the race 108 laps ago. When that first wreck came out, did you feel like you even had an opportunity to get a top 3 finish after that?
I'll be honest, I wasn't sure what to expect. With it being the last race, I wanted to be a little aggressive. That's why I thought I had the run early on. I wanted to try and get in the lead, kind of set a tone for the race. I just got a little too aggressive, and that was on me. So I apologize to everybody in that wreck. I don't think I think for the most part everyone got around me pretty well. I didn't have much damage myself, so I'm hoping nobody else really did. I'll have to go back and look at the replay, but yeah, that definitely set the tone for the race, but not the right tone I was trying to do.
Of course, not many stars from you this season, only 9. Unfortunately, no wins in that column. Still got some top 5s and top 10s, 2 and 5 to be exact. Had a pretty good race here tonight to be able to prevail over a lot of others that, just couldn't find their rhythm or their footing. How does, high track temps and consistent cautions play into that top 3 finish for you?
I think the cautions helped. I think at one point, one of the wrecks, I was in a lot of the wrecks tonight. I know I caused the first one, but there were a lot of others that I got caught up in. I think at one point, just before the stage break, I had 7.5 minutes of repair. I never even used my fast repair for the entire race, so I still had that in my back pocket for the end. And I just kind of sat using all of the cautions to repair the car, get it back working. And luckily, these next gen cars are very durable. I know that they can break easily with the toe links, but I mean, I still had 5 minutes of repair damage, and I was still able to hold on to the lead pack. I mean, just kind of riding around in the back, but I mean, I was still kind of able to run with them, not even full throttle, save some fuel. So that kind of let me know that if I just kept repairing the car and working on it, I still had a shot no matter what. It's just going to be a matter of survival, and I know a lot of wrecks caught up a lot of people tonight, especially there towards the end. And I was just trying to get myself in a position to not be caught up in it and have some sort of escape route, which I desperately needed there at the end on that last lap, which helped me get up back up into third. I thought I had a good run down the backstretch on the 01. Congratulations to him on the win. And I do want to thank the 12. Also, I looked back at the replay, and I mean, when I came back up on the track, he was right on my bumper. He could have turned me, pushed me out of the way, anything. But he was good. He pushed me. We got back to the 01, and then we really got to race it out towards the end. So I want to thank them for that.
Looking forward to seeing what's going to come of next season. I mean, I know this season you and the team have been on one pretty consistently, and there were a lot of talks of unfamiliarity of what is going to be happening next season. Do we now officially kind of have that notice? Are we going to be seeing y'all come back for season 2 and try to dominate now for all 16 races plus?
I think so. I think the No Pasta team, between Josh, Vincent, Dwayne, Adam Kilday, Adam Strom, like those guys they're great teammates. They're great to work with. They always pushing each other to learn a lot. I mean, I've learned a lot just in my few races with them. Vicente and Josh are very, very good super speedway racers, as is Kilday. They've really helped me up my game when coming into this field. So we'll sit and talk. We'll have a discussion about what we're going to do for season 2. But I think for the most part, I think we'll be back. We'll give it a run for the full season. See if we can maybe do something about the team championship for season 2.
Now, of course, pretty long night. Cautions roughly about 2 minutes a lap, and we had a good amount of them. Do you feel like at any point in time that kind of got your head out of the game and you had to kind of readjust and remember what the goal was for you and the team tonight, or were you able to just ride through it and worry about the damage on your car?
No, I mean, yeah, we were all trying to fix the damage. I know everybody tonight had damage at one point or another. Like I said, with all the wrecks, I think there was 15 or 16 cautions throughout the race, which is a lot. I don't think it ever took us out. I mean, the majority of the race, our whole team was focused on how do we get Josh back to the front without getting him in any of those wrecks to try and give him the best opportunity to mount a run for that championship, which he was already facing steep odds after last week. The bad luck that he had, but I think there until like the last lap, everybody, just like in real life, everyone's got the teammate until the last lap. I think we're all working for that. I think in Vicente and some of the others were still trying to help Josh. I just happened to be the one that survived through that big wreck there on the last lap and was able to make a run, for the finish. But I think for the most part, I think even with all the cautions, the conversations were still like, how do we help Josh, go for that championship? That was our main goal for the night.
Of course, man.
You know.
Before we let you go and enjoy the rest of your Monday, do you have any shout out you want to give to anybody?
Well, I want to thank you guys for doing these broadcasts. I've stopped in on some of the nights that I'm not racing. I've stopped in on some of the other nights that you guys cover, and you guys have done a fantastic job with the broadcasts. I really like it watching them. I enjoy them. They're entertaining. So thank you guys for covering this season. I'm glad I finally got to do an interview with you guys before the end of the season. Grant took me to the last race, but thank
Still
you guys for
counts.
that. Yeah. No, and I just want to thank my teammates, like I said, Josh, Vicente, Adam, both Adams, and Dwayne, for being such good teammates this season. I know Dalton and the whole league for putting the races on, thank them for that. And we're looking forward to seeing kind of what happens with the next season. I know they're still working out a few kinks in, the plans and stuff. So I'll be excited to see what happens. But no, again, thank you guys for doing the broadcast covering this and making this an entertaining series to watch.
Don't thank me. It's my first day.
Well, it's my first day up here too.
It's literally the first one I did. T-Bone's been doing them all.
No, they've been great. So thank you guys for that. Really.
Yeah, anytime, man. Of course, congrats here on your top 3 finish tonight. A well-deserved finish after a crazy race and a pretty long season. So hopefully, you and No Presto will be able to come back stronger now, knowing that one had the opportunity to do it this season, but now all 5 of you are going to be able to do it next season.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely make a run for it if we're back as a team. We definitely work well together, so we're looking forward to that.
And
All right.
before you go, one question I had: when Calamity broke out there at the end, and you saw your teammate around and just white smoke everywhere, what was going through your mind? Was it just keep my foot in it and see where we end up at? Because you didn't have the best field position there.
No, and that's why I wanted to be on the bottom lane. I had been stuck on the top lane. The top lane was much faster if you could get the runs going, but I think with so many wrecks, the top lane kind of traps you up there without any escape route. So coming up to the end, I wanted to be on the bottom, even though it was slower, because I know people were going to get aggressive and somebody was going to overstep that boundary, and I just wanted to have that escape route for me to get through the smoke. I honestly didn't even really see who was in it. I just saw the white smoke, and knowing that it's the last lap, there's not going to be a caution coming out. I just kept my foot in it, aimed it for where I thought it was going to be clear, and just prayed that I made it through. And luckily, I did.
Of course, man. Patience and skill definitely paid off for you tonight. So once again, congrats on that second place finish.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. I hope you have a good one.
You too. Definitely have a great night.
That was
Time for
our
Matt.
second place finisher. I'm gonna let you take this one. This is all you.
Oh,
Second
hell
place
yeah.
finisher there. Daniel Daniel Half. See where he's at. There he is. We're gonna bring up our winner of tonight's race. It's gonna be Matthew Wilson.
So, Matt, congrats, man, on your first win.
I appreciate it. That was an insane win. Cannot believe that happened.
I
That
watching it back, it looked like you were just trying to be a good teammate and get Eric out front and get him the win. And what was going through your mind when you saw him go around and you knew you still had room to the start finish line?
I did not realize how far back we were in the trial. I thought whenever he spun, I thought we were at the line and I passed right then. Watching the replay back, I realized it was much sooner than that, so I feel terrible that he didn't get his third place finish. But yeah, I was just trying to push him to the finish. That's all I wanted to do. I got behind him to push him to the win, and then it just didn't work out that way. I had no intention of winning that race, and that super speedway racing for you. It just happens sometimes, I guess. I'm excited. Last race of the year, a terrible iRacing driver like myself to win. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's a long way around to the start finish line of Talladega, that's for sure. It's unique in that sense in a lot of ways. Um, so even before that, the big one comes out right at the end. I don't even exactly know where you were before that one came out, but I know it wasn't out front. Um, when you started seeing smoke going, what was your plan to get through that?
I I, I was behind the car. I was behind. I won't name names because it's not nice. I knew he was about to clear himself up because that's just a normal thing he does. And so I let off the gas and I stayed there and I watched him clear himself across Steve's nose. And it was just all gas from there because I was on the bottom and it was just a 5 car race at that point. I think it was only Josh, Daniel, Eric, and Ethan. I think that was it. But the thought was just, I know he's gonna clear it. I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna die if I stay up close to him. So I let off the gas and just chill. And the first time it's actually worked because normally someone ricochets off the wall and kills me whenever I try to just chill out for a second. I got very lucky.
Heck yeah. And you got anybody you want to shout out as our fearless leader here, Mr. Matt Wilson?
I'm happy that the iRacing people trusted this server to come over here and do the series. I really am, and I hope it can continue pushing forward into the future. And in my mind, it's not going anywhere. And I'm just thank you, Dalton, uh, Gibson. Thank you, Dalton, for calling the race with Tyler. And I just appreciate the trust that everyone gave coming on over. I know it was a big jump. A lot of people came over at once, and it's little rough every now and then on the Rex, but it's been a good vibe so far. It's been a really good season, and it's only going to get better the more we do.
Yeah, if there was ever some pressure on me to do a newsletter, it's insurmountable now, ain't it?
No. Big Red deserves some more, but I do.
But
Uh, yeah, I appreciate you calling this race. I'm sure you all had a lot of fun in the booth.
oh yeah, when you guys were actually racing, there was a lot of 70 mile an hour driving around going, but
Yeah,
yeah,
kind of.
I saw you get out front early, and I was rooting for you the whole time. Um, Shouted you out when I could. Dude, I'm super pumped. I've been watching your stream every every Monday. If I'm not watching T-Bones, I'm watching yours on YouTube, and just it seems like week after week after week, you just get collected in something. I'm happy to see you there at the end this time.
I appreciate it. I try not to be super aggressive. I try not to really destroy people. I'm happy to always get destroyed if it means not killing other people. And yeah, I appreciate it, dude. I really do. Tyler has a hell of a broadcast. It looks great. It sounds great. I love watching the replay every week, and I appreciate that. People just enjoy watching. It's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I got to peek behind the curtains, if you will, in the during the pre-race, and I was like, yeah, I don't have none of that. So I hope you'll have to forgive me for not being as knowledgeable as him. I was working on just the iRacing replay. The only overlay I had was the track map.
That's okay. Yeah, his overlays it's nice. I do enjoy the one he uses. It's the most professional one you can find. There's nothing that even comes close. That one's used by Real TV and Flow Racing and everything.
And one last question I'll have for you, like so, um, two broke racing going into this thing. Did you guys have, obviously no one's in the playoffs, it's just another race for you guys. Did you guys have a strategy of who you wanted to help out, how you guys wanted to do things? I know there were a couple of times I saw you and Rodman, you and Alessi, you and Hockey all working together. Did you guys have anybody that you were favored? I know you're a big fan of the underdogs.
Uh, for us, every single race we've gone in, except for the tournament stuff, we always tried to help Eric as best we could. But every race in our chat room, in our voice chats, text doesn't matter. It's always whoever we can push to the front, whoever has the best chance, help them at the end. We never care about each other individually. It's just helping each other as a team. That's the most important thing. We're just out here trying to have a good time, and that was the main goal. Is just whoever's up there, help them out as best we can. So at the end, Eric was in front of me. Help Eric, push Eric to the win, and then the wreck happened. So it's like, okay, landed in my lap. Insane. I agree. Just insane how that worked. But it's just teamwork. We just want the team to do good and the team to have fun.
Yeah, and had the same thing happened at Daytona, it'd have been Eric in second or third place. I feel like where the start finish line is at Talladega and how early in the trial they got into one another, there was no saving it.
No, there was. I was disappointed whenever I saw that Eric was a lap down because that black flag penalty. I just did not realize how early they wrecked each other. That was. I'm excited. I don't know if I sounded. I am excited. It was such a fun race, and I enjoyed. It's a lot of cautions, but I don't care. I still have fun no matter what. I keep a positive attitude about this at all times these days. I used to be a little sourpuss, but I just want to have a fun time now, and I've tried to prove that. I've tried to rub it off on other people as best I can.
And I noticed you got this sick heat wave scheme on your card. You make that yourself?
Yes, sir. It's not the most professional one as I've had pointed out to me, but I love Heat Wave and I like Bush Light, and Bush Light's my favorite beer in the world, and I just wanted to combine them and see how it could look.
Heck yeah. Anything else you want to add before we get you out of here? Because we got to get our champion in here.
No, no worries at all. No, I'm good. Thank you all for broadcasting, Tyler. Thank you for broadcasting the entire season. I hope you're back next season. You do a fantastic job. Thank you to everyone that watches, and I can't wait to see you all here in a few weeks whenever we start the next season.
Absolutely, man. Thank you. Congrats on your win tonight.
Thanks, man. And congrats on just doing what you do. You are fantastic at what you do.
I
Second to
appreciate
none
it,
in my
man.
mind.
You have a good one.
All right. You all have a good one.
All right, Matt. How was that?
Was good for your first run there.
There we go. Friggin' put me in the booth.
He said, "Put me in, coach." Of course, that was our race winner there, Matthew Wilson. Now on to the man who has officially, if that makes sense, won your season 1 champion. That's going to be the number 17 of Dalton Gibson.
What's going on, Tyler?
How you doing, man?
Dude, I'm doing a whole lot better now that it's over.
I can imagine the
Oh my
stress you've had
gosh.
building up over the last, I would say, month has finally lifted off of your shoulders at an unfortunate situation at the cost of one of your teammates. But, team still walks out as a champion. So how are you feeling?
Honestly, I'm speechless. I don't have any really good words put together, even though that I had plenty of time probably to put this to words. But it's just it's a great feeling. I mean, I've been league racing with the same core group of guys for the last 2 years and going on 5, now 6 seasons next season, and it's always been pretty competitive, similar to how it was tonight, especially when it comes down to the playoff time. And it's just I'm finally glad to be on the good side of it. I've had random iRacing glitches, just bad luck, with wrecks, pretty much everything that you could think of to take me out of contention for a championship. It's just good to have some luck go my way.
No, I mean, it's been a tough season at times for you. I've had better luck than others, and just really trying to hold it together. I mean, 3,084 points on the total now, putting you obviously in the lead. No active wins. 10 top tens, 5 top 5s. Out of 16 starts, pretty good stats to have the goose egg in the win column. Do you feel like it's kind of overdue? Like tonight was an overdue night to possibly get that win. You seemed really strong. Had about 40 laps led, and it seemed like it just kind of all went wrong at the end when everybody started getting really aggressive.
Right. I felt like tonight was gonna be the best shot at one. Just because I felt like I controlled the majority of the race, stayed within the top 5 for at least the first 80 laps there. Just I messed up. What you would consider the money stop, probably with about 20 to go, when everybody was gonna be good on fuel. Ended up sliding through my box. Ended up actually, I say slid through my box. I was at the pit board, iRacing. As soon as you put it in reverse, it'll start the service in the car. So kind of had some bad luck there. But at that point too, I was also nursing a fast repair. I was also nursing. I had a clean race bonus going, so I had the building blocks to at least finish it out strong. I didn't want to just sit back there and ride in like 15th to 20th though. Um, Especially given the fact that I was up front for the majority of the night, so you got a little bit more aggressive there towards the end, and I just I hate it for Daniel one, just because I know that he got caught up in some pretty bad luck there and some wrecks, and especially Pickle. I wanted to settle it with him right there at the end. I know that I was pushing him. We had a really good run on that third line before they went 4 and ended up causing that wreck, and I ended up getting less damage and being able to finish on. And I know he could hardly keep the car straight. I think he had a wheel broken. So that's just tough luck. And I feel for him because I know I've been in that situation too. But just really glad to be on the good side of things.
Now, of course, track temps 136 miles an hour. What am I talking about? 136 degrees Fahrenheit. They were about 139 for qualifying and some practice. You know, pretty high track temps for these next gen tires. How much did you feel that that heated up concrete kind of did for you on tire wear tonight?
Honestly, I couldn't feel much of a difference, especially it might have been just because I was out in clean air for the majority of the run tonight. Um, but I really wasn't sliding the tires, the longer the run went. So when it came to stage break, I ended up coming in getting my set of tires that I normally would. Um, but I would say that it felt the same. I didn't know what everybody else was kind of feeling. It could have easily been a little bit looser, especially off corner exit. But to me, I didn't really notice much of a difference there.
One hell of a season. Good way to send it off with the most dominant team still getting the championship. Now, moving on to next season, we have a lot in store uh, with tracks and manufacturers again, and trying to just broaden out and expand a little bit. Being the man that runs it all, how are we feeling about next season after seeing what we've had performance-wise this season?
I think that there's obviously things that we can improve on. Um, what I will say though is I've been listening to what just about everybody's said as far as what they want. Obviously, going to try and compromise where we can and try and give the people what they want, and that's the whole point and reason why I wanted to start this league is I wanted to give people a place to race, especially when my other league had started winded down and they didn't want to run this season. Why not just give people a place to run? And obviously, my core group of guys that we've ran with for the last 3 seasons or 3 years that I was telling you about earlier. It's just I'd hate to see them go off in different directions, and it's one of my favorite things to do in the week. So, but as far as next season goes, you can expect more tracks, a lot different cars. I would say. Um, that's all I'm gonna give. We're gonna be coming out with a graphic here this week. We're starting our recruitment next Monday as well. So those that are also listening in love to have some of our league members in so we can kind of be more selective. I know we have a lot of drivers coming back to race with us season two, so I'm very fortunate, very blessed to say that we have a fairly healthy league as far as driver count. And I would love to build on that. I would love the racing to get cleaned up so we can be more competitive. We can race hard, but not race scared almost, because there's some drivers that it's like you might be a little bit more weary of than others, and that's just with any league. But I mean, we can kind of be selective as far as the new people that we'll get to see, coming here in the future, and we're going to be welcoming to majority of talent levels. But if you want to learn and you want to improve, I think this is the place to be because I feel like you have a lot of good, talented drivers that know super speedway racing. That there's a lot of people you can just learn from. And I will say that I would love to have more of our drivers be a part of building this because I think we have a good thing going.
Now, of course, team also taking away the team championship too pretty early on into the season. We were able to see the dominance that Candy Shack had, and it really never fell off, even when we had some situations with Holloway not, or I guess you can call it underperforming at certain points in times due to, there's just cautions on the track and all that. Still 70 starts for the entire team, 140 races counted between all drivers, averaging about 2.1 wins, 10 top fives, 18 top tens for a total of 552 points. I mean, 17 and a half bonus points given. Not the most out of everybody, but still, with just the performance, the consistency, and your overall finishing positions, you guys were able to dominate team standings very early on. I mean, I think you've held them for almost the entirety of the season. I'm already back looking at race 5, and Candy Shack was in first, so I think race 1 is really where it actually solidified everything for you guys. And then from the second week on, you were in first place all the way now. As a team owner, how does that feel, knowing that you have the most dominant team in ASCRL?
I would say that a lot of it is just based off of consistency from our guys. And this is me now just joining this team too, because I know that these guys have kicked butt when it comes to, racing with the ASR guys in years past. And even from NOMA and leagues that they have done, before I started league racing, that uh, they have all been super consistent as far as talent level goes. And I think that's where you build the foundation for it. And so I wouldn't say that we had to have the most dominant, but if you could get, your two guys to score in the top 10, you're more than likely taking home the most points when it comes to, team racing. And so, just having really good, consistent guys and just never really giving up week in and week out has been the most fruitful thing that I think we can have as a team and being a good team. Um, but yeah, I will say this, and I'll give flowers to these guys, but no Presta if they had joined early in the season and started with us race one. I think that they probably would have given us a run for our money because after race five, kind of like you're referring to, we we had pretty good battles as far as who was taking home the most points as far as team championships go. So it's going to be interesting seeing them next season, as far as their drivers go, because they have a pretty stacked lineup as far as their drivers go. But it's going to be really fun battling with them for a full season and see what they have to offer. But yeah, I just got to give a shout out to my guys and just thankful that we can all work together and try and give the best results to the team and support where we can.
Of course, man. Before we let you go, do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, I first and foremost just thank God because obviously none of this is possible without him. When it comes to league, when it comes to racing, when it comes to things in my personal life, my wife, I made the announcement yesterday that we are currently 15 weeks pregnant, so we're expecting our first child. Super super thankful, super blessed when it comes to that. Um, Thanks to my dad and my friends that are watching tonight. Had a few people that I had sent the stream to, and I hope that everybody tuned in because it was a long one, but it was a good one, and glad to see that I could deliver a championship to the people that love to follow what I do, and especially with racing on Monday nights, sim racing. So it's really cool. But thank you to Woods Viking, for sponsoring me and some of the guys at the shop that are tuning in as well. Candy Shack, like I said before, Daniel, and I wish that we could have battled it out there a little bit more. Uh, really wish that we could have had a good finish there for him. But Daniel, Tyler, Todd, and Russ, just thank y'all for having me on board this season, and truly, just from the bottom of my heart, appreciate y'all working with me and welcome me in with both arms. And to the guys that also were helping me tonight too, with the TMS boys of Chase and Zach, and then HM Motorsports with Alan and Joshua. I know that they had tried to work with me in certain spots in the race, so I also couldn't have done tonight without them. So wanted to shout out them as well.
Man, obviously, congratulations on the pregnancy, of course. Welcome to
Thank
the
you.
club, my brother. It gets harder from here. Congrats on the season one championship as well, and definitely looking forward to seeing not only what you have in store for us come season two, what the league's going to look like come season two's first green flag, and of course, Candy Shack back on the track for another season.
I appreciate it, Tyler.
Yes, sir, man. You have a good one.
Yep.
That was your commissioner and your season one champion, Dalton Gibson. Thankfully, I didn't mess up his name and say your name.
I was waiting on it.
Yeah, I think I learned my lesson the first time tonight, so made it easier.
Yeah, you did it. Did it the very first time and didn't do it again. So
we learn, we adapt, and we move forward. Of course, tonight, one hell of a night, one long night as well, but I would still say a successful night. Matthew Wilson gets his first win. Daniel Half in second. Josh Riddle in third with the first official championship spot going to Dalton Gibson. Now, looking at your actual results for your race here tonight, your hard charger was Vicente Guerrero, up 17 positions from where he first started. Most laps led being given to Dalton for 35 laps. Rodman with the fastest time of 48.6. And of course, Josh Ball starting on the pole today. 20 green flag lead changes from 12 different people. 45 total total caution laps for 15 cautions in total. 2 overtimes used, and thankfully we didn't get to the third. Of course, we are live, what, 2 days a week now, 3 days a week now, as it's all slowly coming to an end. Right now, ASCRL will be on hiatus for at least 3 weeks. You can catch us this Thursday for the Right Time Truck Series, Naris Truck Series on Fridays, and of course the Gen 6 Farewell Tour on Saturdays. So be sure to drop a follow, turn your post notifications on, and be a part of the family here. Now, of course, as always, it was a pretty good night. Little pacey, but you know that's pace Tona for you, I guess. I mean, we kind of expected it to happen.
Yeah, I'd say it got pretty exciting there at the end. Almost, made up for it. Last 10 laps or so were really exciting. Then the big one coming out right at the white flag, got to stay green. Then, trouble with Eric coming to the start finish line. The ending was fun, if nothing else.
Still, all in all, a good race, of course. Dalton, I appreciate you jumping up here and taking a shot at it. I definitely appreciate it. It's nice to have somebody else up here watching with you from
Thanks for
time to
having
time,
me.
man. Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah, I felt like it's something I've been wanting to try, and people, you can look at it however you want to look at it, but until you try it, you can't really wrap your head around what it's like. It's I mean, if you want to just go and just have a conversation with yourself with no one responding, it's you sound crazy.
Well, I guess I do.
But
I sound crazy about 4 times a week, so there's that.
But yeah, I think I appreciate you letting me get some reps in on it. Just hope I made your day a little bit better. Hope you enjoyed having me.
Definitely enjoy the company. Definitely appreciate it. And hopefully, we'll be seeing more of you here, whether it's ASCRL or another night of the week. If you are interested, there's always a spot, brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to may have to hop in with the commissioner and have a talk with him, because he's talking about having his firstborn son, but I've got mine. I just had my first, and he's 5 months, and this being up till 1 a.m. They're either gonna have to kick the start time up or have these things go green.
Nah, he's gonna be in the same situation too in a few months, so he needs to figure
Well,
it out now.
yeah, he doesn't know what's coming, because
I promise you, he does not.
me jumping into all these other things, like, oh, maybe I'll get in the booth, maybe I'll start making schemes, maybe I'll be a team owner. Let me tell you, that didn't come because I was bored of racing. You just can't be in that chair. You just can't do it.
Not at all. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long night. Of course, we always like to thank you guys, the fans, who make this all go around for these drivers. We appreciate y'all watching. I know this was a longer side, about 3 hours, 42 minutes live right now. Of course, as we always do, on behalf of the American Stock Car Racing League and everybody at the Asphalt Racing Network. Our live coverage has officially concluded here tonight. Once again, thank you, Dalton, for jumping up here in the booth tonight and giving it one good shot for the ages. We will leave you with the last lap where we saw Matt Wilson get his first win here tonight. Hopefully, if we don't see you next time, we hope to catch you somewhere else. We hope you guys have a good night.